Hello there, and a welcome to the Monday Night Live. Congratulations for joining. Thank you so much for being here. I can see you guys in the chat there. We've got a Lady Amina, we've got a Cheryl, Lady Wendy, and some other people there that I can't see. Koala's come and gone, Lord Koala. So thank you and welcome. This evening, of course, it's we're going to be doing a little. we've just got to get them. We've got a little guest, and we're going to go round a little something I'm calling today. Have I got old news for you? So we're going to have a look at a few different topics, and of course, to join me with these topics this evening, I've got to do it with a particular guest. He's been with us before, and it was a particular enjoyment to you guys. So. Well, let me introduce you back to a good friend of the channel and a friend of mine. It is our Jacob. If he's on, he just needs to turn his microphone on.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. Good stuff. How are you doing, young sir? Thank you so much for coming back on. Oh, we may have lost you a little bit there. Yeah, just a wee bit. I think our Jake's having a few technical issues over there. So essentially the idea for this evening. Oh, we've got a Miss Sonia as well and a Lady Venus. How are you both doing over there? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yes, our Jacob over there is just battling with the elements. Here we are, and we're back. Very nearly. But while he does that, I shall let you know exactly what's happening this evening. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a look at some of the elements of news and true crime that's been happening around the world and in different places. And Jake and I and you guys will be putting it open to discussion to see what it is that is going on. So, oh, hello there. We've got a Bobby popped in. Hello, Bobby. We've got a JG as well. Good stuff. Hello to Tampa. And hello in the Midwest over there as well. So it's a pleasure to see you all again. So Jake, how's it going over there? Do we have sound, sir?
I believe so. Can you hear me?
We certainly can. There we go. And how are you? How have things been since we saw you last on the channel?
My hair grew a little bit. I made some more songs. I started working with some more people, and I found a band that ain't too far from me. It's these young guys. They're go-getters. It's awesome too, because like I've been looking for a band to play with that plays like Primacy type of stuff, like Primus or like Tool, and it's totally up these guys' alley. Except they were like, we want to do that kind of stuff, but with a punk element to kind of bring the alternative rock feel to it. And I was like, oh damn! And they have this one song that I have to learn on guitar now. It's like it's like it's like Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers, but like with extra little doodle-doos.
Well, everyone needs an extra doodly do every now and then. I mean, you know, what is a song without a doodly do? Also needs a decent hey at some point during the song. I think every good song has a hey at some point in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I'm gonna make a song soon. I mean, I was thinking about making a song that had a hang on a second.
I think you should. I should very much like to be voicing that for you as well. Should you need it, sir? You have my vocal cords at your disposal. Just quick couple of other hellos as well. We've got a Mark D, we've got a Sean T, we've got a YOY coming there as well. So we've got a few of the regular faces coming. Good to see you all. I'm
gonna adjust my lighting a little bit. So if y'all don't see me for a second, it's because I'm a magician and I disappeared, Chris Angel style.
Whoa, crazy! Just don't go shooting nobody. We're all good. And there we go. Oh, we've got stunt cellist as well. There we go. And Reese LaFonte, good stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. So while our young man is doing his magic act at the back, there we go. Look at that. It's sort of what's it? Chris Angel, is it the magician?
Yeah.
There you go. We did a sort of half.
The magic trick is that I look like I'm wearing shorts, but I'm actually wearing very professional khakis, as I always wear.
Ah.
No, I'm just kidding. My studio is hot as hell right now. I have to have the AC on right now, and like I got a shit ton of fans going because my neighbors are like they're pissed off because they called like authorities about the smell of their ferrets over there because they like let their ferrets run around the house and like shit and piss all over the house.
Yeah, they're really smelly, right? Ferrets.
Well, yeah, whenever you have 18 or 19 of them, and like you think it's cute that they leave rotting meat underneath the fucking bed, but yeah, they don't even put them in a cage, so the smell started coming through the walls, and we had to do something about it. Yeah. So now I think they have their heat on just so it gets fucking 89 million degrees up here. Up here, they hear me up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, fucking ferrets. That's what my dad said about my cat. Poor old Kimbo over here. He said it's just a ferret. It's just a large ferret. I said no, this is clearly a gorgeous cat that I have here. That's exactly what this.
Well, he's lucky he didn't say that while Kimbo was in his prime.
I know. Yes, yeah. Old Kimbo would have sliced him up. Yeah. Oh yeah. he would have been there. So then, young sir, I've prepared. I've got a bunch of news stories. Some are fairly random. Some aren't. Some are poignant. Some aren't. Some are true crime, and some might make you think. So I'm going to pose a few different things to you, and we'll see where we go. I see that we may have a slightly unstable connection, but I'm sure we can make it work between us. I do believe.
I might be able to fix that.
That's all right. Don't worry too much. Oh, there's GSP as well. Hello, GSP.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Well, it was almost like one of those kind of like prog rock synths going on there for a second. That was pretty neat. So what we have then, ladies and gents, let's skip on through to our first little story, shall we, and see what we make of that. This is a story, this one from England, and so I'm going to give you the headline first up, and we're going to see what it is that we think. Okay, so let's pop on through. If you, Jake, if you want to click on the little box there, you should be able to see what it is that we're looking at. So the headline is: Dad accidentally puts Guinness in son's lunchbox, thinking it was sparkling water. Now, what kind of an idiot do you think might be able to do that? I mean, the first impression is, how do we make the mistake between Guinness and water? Is the first question, isn't it? Really?
You leave it in God's hands.
Well, no, no, that's absolutely true. I mean, yes, if your mills,
then it turns it into wine.
Well, absolutely, yeah. This is we've got the whole kind of the whole kind of
no, but so what? So how do you even like what kind of sparkling water? Why would you send your kid with a can of sparkling water to school?
It's, I mean, isn't that like really
hey,
posh as
so
well?
Instead of me giving you a bottle of water, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, if it was like, does it look like Perrier in a can? I mean, where was this at? We got to see where it was at because, like,
this is England.
The thing is that, okay, so what's the Guinness cans look like in England? Can you pull up a Guinness can in England? Let me see what it looks like.
Sure
versus a Perrier can in England.
In fact, if I come down a little bit, so and he only realised his mistake when it was too late. Now, if I show you, do you see that?
Oh, oh my God!
He thought.
So he took mushrooms that morning. It looks like.
Well, the thing is, who's going to send their kid to school with
a liquid death?
With liquid death, sparkling water. I mean, that's just. Could
you imagine being in
insane,
third grade and like just like everyone's talking about what their parents packed? One kid's like, "I got an egg salad." The next kid's like, "I got macaroni and cheese that was made 2 days ago." And then the last kid's like, "I didn't get no food, but I got a fucking liquid death." Bam! Smacks it down.
Yeah, you know that's the coolest kid in the playground. That one, yeah. He's probably going to get some pure respect for having that. I mean,
damn! Imagine if he'd have cracked open that Guinness and seen all the head come popping out of the top. you know as well as me, because he'd have done the same shit you would do.
Plus, he's been in his school bag all day. He's kicked his school bag all over the playground.
Oh man, imagine how much that shit would explode. Oh, and Guinness stinks too. It's one of them beers that you can't let sit.
Oh yeah. So there's this black.
Like you can get away with that with like an IPA. With an IPA, you could spill it and like let it go. for a little while at least. You know what I mean? But a Guinness, you spill a Guinness, you better fucking get a carpet scrubber.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he thought it was that's such an upper class thing to do, though, isn't it? To give sparkling water to your child. Although I guess it's all about the label, isn't it? You know, if you could see the kid, I imagine the kid. You know, he's kind of got. You know, he's got one side of his head shaved and stuff. You know, this isn't your regular kind of kid that's going to school with liquid.
You don't think that kid gets like straight A's?
Well, it may be. It might be one of these kind of like crazy families where, you know, like the Osbournes, but they're like super geniuses at the same time.
Right. It's like Ozzy. I love that interview with Ozzy that he did with that one news lady. She's like, so has your life gotten any better? Like, are you still?
Oh, what? Since he quit drugs? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's shit. Yeah.
I loved whenever they were trying to get him into fitness, and he was like, every time they'd try to talk to him about going to work out, he'd be like,
See, there was like a precursor to the Osbournes show years ago over here, and they followed them around, and Jack must have been like 7 or 8 years old at the time, and
they did start early. Now thinking about it.
Yeah, it was like a really early version of like probably one of the first, one of the first reality shows of following families. And Jack insisted on taking this teddy bear around. And the camera crew had kind of said to Ozzy, well, what do you make of that? He goes, well, I don't really know. He's taking this piece of shit around. It's just a bit of material with a load of shit inside it. You know, that was his kind
did you see the episode where they
Oh, we just lost
no more fucking cats and no more cats coming in this house. And the very next day comes into the living room, and there's another cat on the couch. He's like,
Sharon, why is there these cats in my house?
Sharon, the dog shit on the carpet again. Oh, the dog didn't shit on the carpet, Ozzy. That was you. You're the shitter.
Yeah. It was such a crazy family. There was one where they were having a fight, and so they were wiping each other's pum juice all over each other. You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you think Derek and Mo are watching, or do you think they're beating the shit out of each other right now?
Yeah, they'll be busy having an argument online on you know, on some sort of thing. You know,
I just want to point out, in case they are watching, just so you guys know, Ozzy Osbourne's kids still bust their ass to make a living, and they're not famous. So think about that. You know what I mean? Thinking that this reality TV thing's gonna work out for a lifetime ain't gonna work out. Ain't gonna happen. Gotta find what you want to do, stick with it, and it best not be putting your hands on another person, because then, well, I mean, come on now. Shit. If you're gonna put your hands on another person, you better be a fucking BJJ fighter. Other than that, rocks.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, they're just milking it now. I sent him a video just the other day. It's like,
it don't look like they're milking them. I mean, they're still hanging right there over that big old belly, just fucking, whew, cankerous.
Yeah, there is.
And that woman's got 4 sets of tits.
What's that? The front ones and the back ones.
And the side ones, man. They're separate. She has those ones that poke out the sides too, but then the back ones roll over them. She's got that, you know, she was the first person with a cell phone plan to get rollover with no rates.
God, see, that's the thing. They're just hitting up the place so much at the moment. Those two, it's just incredible to see the different kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? She's grassing him up to all these different club promoters, trying to get
putting her hand on his throat. Eric, what I say? Yeah, but whenever it came down to it, and she had to actually throw hands, what was she doing?
Oh. Yeah, oh, it's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely insane.
I knew when they were talking shit in that one episode, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you one thing about Cleveland ladies. They're gonna say they're gonna say one thing, and it's gonna be the end all, and then you're gonna watch them get their face beat in. And then that episode, guess what happened? He said, "Why don't you get out then? Oh, you want? Oh, okay." And then they had that Cleveland person, that human being, come running out, go swinging, totally beating the shit out. I mean, you can't even. How do you do? Here's the thing. Just like in the Olympics, just like in the, you know, like how do we handle that sort of situation? Like Brock Lesnar decided that he wanted to be a woman, and he beats the fuck out of like Martha Stewart. Is it a woman on woman crime, or are we gonna finally get real? Like, what's it gonna take?
Interesting point. Actually, just slightly off that point. Did you know that Martha Stewart is the what's it? Sports Illustrated. She's just about to do a spread in Sports Illustrated.
She already did that spread for Shaq.
Right. Anyway, let's so spinning back to the thing that's yeah.
I'm sorry, I got us off track.
No. I'm fine with off track. No, I was good. I was tenuously leading us away from the.
That's what they said. That's what they said in Ohio too, and the government was like, "Good, you better be."
Well, excuse me. Right.
It's fine with having fluoride in your water too.
Yeah.
I literally still meet people that think fluoride is good for you. I'm like, what world do you live in? Have you ever studied what fluoride does? Yeah, it makes your teeth whiter, but it's why they have all the white dots on them.
Yeah. That's because over here we don't do that. Well, whether it depends on what with you.
You may not know if you do it, man. You have a whole different political structure, bro. Maybe you don't even know what you're drinking and eating.
No, that's true. That is very true. Yeah, you never really know. But
I mean, here I am talking shit. But I mean, we our next big thing. I don't know if you heard it yet, but did you hear that they're trying to push bugs?
Oh, bugs is into eat bugs.
Yeah, they're trying to push specifically in the UK, Ireland, Canada, and the US.
Yeah,
they're trying to push that we start eating bugs. I'm like, you want to eat bugs? I bet you're still eating fucking steaks.
Yeah. They're not putting down their wagyu. Yeah. I've seen this. Yeah, but
yeah, they're wagyu too. Yeah, they be eating wagyu, but we gotta eat fucking rump steaks. You know what I mean? Rump steaks are $18 at the store, but you know what I mean? Well, I don't even want to get on that subject because I hate the wealthy. Not because like they have money, but because they don't deserve money. But that's the thing about the world is like you don't get what you deserve, you get what you earn, and I guess they earned it by being the piece of shit that they are. So we got to work with it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like how Robert. Did you see how, dude? Kennedy just came out and gave all the evidence of his father being assassinated by the CIA. Or I mean, his uncle. I mean.
Oh,
well, both of them really, but like his father doesn't have as much. He doesn't have as much tangible evidence there, but he has concrete, foreshore encyclopedias worth of information and copies of documents that prove that John F. Kennedy was killed by the CIA, and that they then also had the shooter killed.
Oh, yes.
I forgot his name. Because like
someone in the chat will know. Someone in the chat will know. Yes, he's got like one of the double-barreled surnames, isn't he?
Yeah, he has one of those names that says like I definitely would shoot somebody for money, thinking that I'm not gonna get my head blown off, just so I don't talk.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll pay you this 20 grand to go kill this guy. We're the U.S. government. You could trust us. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're the government. It's
and then you
fine.
go blow the guy's head off, and you're like, oh yeah, thank God I got this money. I'm getting on the plane. I'm getting on the boom.
Oh, we've got a couple of names. We've got John Wayne Gacy, which was I guess it was the clown guy.
He's just clowning around, trying to play with kids.
Just clowning. Yeah, okay. I like what you did there. Good man. Then we've got Lee Harvey Oswald. That's the one. Thank you very much.
That's the guy. That is the guy. I don't believe he got 3 shots off either. I believe he shot twice. And then I think there was a guy that shot once from the bushes there on that hillside. I don't know if you've seen a lot about it, but I feel like after taking in all the evidence that I could see that was tangible and real, and I could certify like with the sources of the evidence that it was correct. But I really do think it's a disgrace to be an American, to be honest, like at this time period right now, just because our government's making us look like the biggest fucking bullies in the world. Like we look like a bully right now. Literally everything that, every person that got shot in America, like MLK, Abraham Lincoln, JFK, all the people that have been assassinated, they were all like, hey, let's be peaceful and like actually do what we're supposed to do here as people. And then boom, that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Lullerman's false sense of security. And then
that's it. Somebody's like, no, that's gonna fuck with my stocks. That's gonna fuck with my stocks. It's gonna fuck with the military-industrial complex. We better kill this guy.
We got a few other suggestions that there was Sasquatch or Mothman.
Sasquatch did it.
Yeah,
Sasquatch did it with Mothman.
Yeah, see, that's the conspiracy there. You see, Sasquatch and Mothman. You can't trust those
And then
people.
John Wayne Gacy raised the kids.
Yeah.
He grew them right up, right from in the basement. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Those kids didn't push nothing but daisies. No, didn't. No. Real shit though. It is horrible what happened. It is horrible what happened with that guy. But I mean, realistically, once stuff happens, it's okay to joke about it once it's already been done, and over with. Like I had a friend of mine who would always say like about how he lost his friends in Afghanistan. He's like,
What?
"You there?
Oh yeah. I just had a noise there. I've still got you. You still got me?
Yeah, but the stream ended."
Oh, hang on. Let me bring that back. 2 seconds, and there you go. How's that?
Hey, it must be the money. All right, so we're back with
Back in there.
tonight's
I think
roast review.
I think we just lost picture for a second there.
Okay. Oh, thank God. So they could still hear us talking about how we thought we lost complete. Well,
Yeah.
I was talking about how I thought
We could have just started talking about anything really. Couldn't we? Just could have been anything.
Let me ask you this, Lukan. Let me ask you this. What do you think about? What do you think the main issue is with how our governments are in collusion? That's a question I've wanted to ask you for a couple of weeks, and I haven't gotten around to ask you. What do you think is the main thing that you wish you could end between the UK and the US? I've been really pondering that question. I'm like, wow, it's hard if you think about it. It's like, I don't like how we trade data collection. I don't like how we're imposing our beliefs onto like you guys have a completely different political structure, and it's like every time we make a new law in America, it directly affects you guys for some reason, but like how the hell does that work? We left. You know what I mean? we left.
Yeah. See, just to keep it a bit more on the sort of light side, what we always the thing that I suppose that came up was that I guess it was like in the Obama, as we came out of the Obama period, he was saying, oh well, if the English have Brexit, then they're going to be the back of the queue when it comes to any kind of trade agreements, and so.
Oh, you know what? That's something else I wanted to say is, can you give a quick rundown on what Brexit was? Because I try to explain it to people and they don't get what I mean.
Oh, so essentially, yeah, we stopped being part of the European Union, which meant that we'd be governed by certain rules and standards and various things like that. That's the incredibly short version. It meant
you text system, or wow, that's hard to say. You Texas them, damn, yeah, you Texas them, yeah, because Texas was its own sovereign country for a little while.
Yeah,
and they still everybody
yes.
from Texas still acts like George Bush should be like, back when I was about 9 years old on my family's small 35,000 acre ranch. I remember struggling trying to get by with my my technology and stuff that I had that other kids didn't have, because I didn't have no other kids to tell me how to use it. So I just left it sit, and instead I just beat off looking at the horses and the cows, and now I'm the president. So 9/11.
Yeah, it was a big dealio. Yeah, that one. It was that's.
You ever see whenever he's talking about the terrorists, he's like, they ask him, they're like, so what are you gonna do to stop terrorism then? And he goes, watch us drive. He steps up to the tee and swings.
Right.
What a way to end terrorism. Get it in the fairway.
Let's drag ourselves back. Let's drag ourselves back to some.
Yeah, what's the second story? What's the second story you got lined up?
Second story. Let's go to the next. Next one we have. Hotel guest wakes up to the manager sucking on his toes in bed.
That's like, I mean, did he ask, or did the guy just do it?
Yeah, I mean, because you've got to read the terms and conditions. There might have been some sort of box that he didn't tick.
No, that might be an amenity that you're just not used to. I mean, it could be just that custom of that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy, I mean, he looks like a toe sucker. He looks like the type of guy that sucks some toes. I bet you he sucks the hell out of some big toes. Yeah. Look at that. He even sucks so hard on the toes it sucked the bottom of his fucking chin in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's why his kind of head's got a little bit weird. Yeah.
Damn.
Is this? I'd have to cut off my toes and go buy some new ones.
I wonder if he ever got kicked in the nose.
I think
Doesn't
this
look
guy's
like it.
been bounced down a few staircases. But yeah, so it's a guy. He was so there was a guy staying overnight in Hilton in Texas, on a work conference. He was interrupted at 5 a.m. When this manager guy, the night manager, had entered his room, and he woke up and his toes were in his mouth.
The guy's name is Neil. What a total toe sucking name.
Neil was kneeling, yeah, with the toes in his mouth.
Neil was kneeling, tickling was what I was feeling.
So what would be the
Police is what I
correct
thought it would
response to
do.
that? I mean,
What's my response to that? If I was him, or if I was just his brother and he called and told me about it?
well, if you, so you've woken up and you have this fine gentleman who looks like he needs to go on sort of like botched by nature. You know, he's there at the foot of your bed. What's the correct approach? Do you think it's
So what you would want to do in that situation is you want to definitely remove your toe from his mouth. Like, just in
think that's
case
step one.
he's gonna
Yep.
bite, you want to pull it out quick. You want to pull it out quick and scare him. Like you want to put people on the spot. Something I learned while I was in the military: you put people on the spot and be loud, and they freeze. So like, I would immediately yank my foot out of his mouth, like, "Whoa!" And he would be like, "Oh!" And then he's gonna immediately try to think, "What can I say to offset this? What can I say to offset this?" And then literally, that's how fucked up people think. They're like, "Oh, how am I gonna offset the fact that I snuck into this person's room in the middle of the night while it was dark and I took their socks off?" Lifted up their blanket and their sheet, because we're in a hotel. In a hotel, you always use a blanket and the sheet. You ever notice that? At home, you don't, but at the hotel, you use both, right? So, like, he lifted up your blanket and your sheet and decided, yeah, like, how do you fucking...
Okay, so let's look at it from a different angle. Okay, so let's just suppose for a second that you're Neil and you've just been caught. What is your excuse? I mean,
immediately say I dropped a thumbtack or something, and I accidentally had my mouth up. I was like looking for it, but it's dark, and I couldn't see it, so it was an accident. It was totally an accident. And the fact that it felt like I was sucking on the toe just means that you're a weirdo, dude. Why would I suck on your toe? You know what I mean? You flip the script. You want to flip the script on them immediately, and if you keep it in rotation, I mean, eventually, you know, I mean, they won't even know what they're talking about. I mean, you could end up making your next best friend like, "Hey, yeah, my homie here. I met him in Nashville while I was, you know, staying there at a hotel, and he's sucking my toes in the middle of the night."
See, there's you're familiar with the comedian Billy Connolly? You ever heard of him? There's a Scottish Scottish comedian.
I've heard of him. I've heard him and seen him like I've seen him like once, I believe.
Yeah. See, he came up with the best excuse. He was once caught pleasing himself, and he said that the best excuse for it, if you're ever being caught in a position like this, is the first thing you say is, "Thank God you're here." And then by the time they kind of go, "Oh well, you know."
Oh my god!
You know, and so it's kind of like that. Then
Could you imagine just like, "Thank God you're awake."
Yeah, thank God you're here. You know, actually, just thinking about it, I was just drawing in my mind. You know that vampire bats, right? When they're going to vampirely bite on
I've been
things,
terrified of it since I was a kid.
they bite on toes because apparently the vein that goes through your toe is pretty good, or it's something. When they bite cows and other kind of wildlife, they generally tend to go for toes. So just thinking about it here, it could be a case of, "Oh, thank God you're here. Thank God you're awake. There was a vampire bat, and I am sucking out the venom or something." Maybe this is. Maybe you know there was a snake.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably
There's a
snakes in
dangerously
Texas,
long
right?
snake. There's a dangerously long snake in the room, and I'm not going to tell you where he is, but I have him contained right now while I take care of the bite on your foot.
Yeah.
Little does he know, he's about to get bit in the ass.
See, you know, I imagine this dude was nowhere near as quick thinking.
I love how he just like his mugshot. He literally looks like he's like, "Yep, got me." Like,
I am the toe guy. Yeah, that's gonna be him for the rest of his life. Where do I know you from? Oh, I'm the toe guy.
oh, I'm not doing your name. You saw me on 5 o'clock news. I was sucking dudes' toes in the hotel rooms. Where do you work now? I'm a custodian at the school.
Yeah, because you know it's probably some sort of choir leader or something at the same time, isn't it? You know.
Oh my God, yeah, voice of an angel with that kind of throat. Look at him. I mean, it goes straight to throat. There's no, you know what I mean? He has no kind of chin to, like, nothing's holding this dude back. He can get all of his air is getting put to use. You know what I mean? As soon as he opens his mouth, it's like you're doing a wine glass. Ooh.
Right, you ready? You ready for the next story?
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3. A Dutchman who fathered at least 550 kids gets banned from donating sperm.
Why? He's a good donor.
Well, presumably he's doing something, right? You know, but maybe there's. See, when I've actually had a quick look at this, so I know why. So but my first impressions were, well, maybe there's kind of like a cap. You know, you can only do so many, otherwise you're going to be, you know, essentially the modern day Genghis Khan. And, you know, there's going to every person will, you know, be related back to you in some way. But yes, so it banned, allegedly. Can you imagine 550? Wow. Yes, yeah, that's quite a one. So what do you reckon? Why do you reckon he was banned? Ganges.
Because he was obviously making hella money on this. I mean, shit, they probably pay every time you donate. Can you scroll down? How much does it pay to donate?
Not a lot.
Does he get paid per? Is it paid per kid or is it paid per?
Donation, maybe.
Is it like paid per amount or?
Like per gram. By fluid ounce. Oh, let's see. Identified only as Jonathan.
As well as people that online. Oh wow! So like, but that's bullshit though, because in the Netherlands it says permits donors to donors. Okay, I thought it was said that permits a father to have a maximum of 25 children with 12 mothers. I wasn't sure.
Right.
But seeing that it says donor, I guess that does niche it down, and I guess he is gonna have to not be donating his heavenly juices to the unholy holes.
Oh, Genghis Khan. Yes, thank you very much. Those that have put that in chat. Yes. Good job.
What if it's like, so is the concern though, like, is it that the Netherlands is so small, and Denmark? Oh, holy shit! This dude's international.
Yep.
Dude is an international. He's coming.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. He's coming.
So yeah, he's not supposed to more than a maximum of 25 with up to 12 mothers. But apparently he deliberately lied in order to persuade other parents to take him as a donor. Oh, so do you think he might have worked independently then?
Oh, he definitely did some independent work. I mean, what's his right arm look like compared to his left? We'll know which hand to use as the right if we look.
I was gonna say he's freelancing. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
he's on Fiverr.
All the other men took up a position against
taxes. Fiverr.
Yeah. As well as had been a ban on Jonathan donating more sperm and sought by the mother of a child conceived with his help, as well as the Donor Child Foundation, a group working on behalf of other parents. Good. I hope this leads to a ban on mass donation and spreads like an oil slick to other countries. Well, she could have chosen her words a little bit different there, couldn't you? So, so he could be fined up to 100k in euros.
That's nothing on him. You know how much he's probably getting back on his taxes? I mean, I don't know. Wait, I don't know, actually. Do they give you money to have kids in other countries? I'm not sure.
Well, certainly in Europe, parts of Europe, it's really, I'd say it's lucrative. They give.
Maybe that's why he was diversifying his portfolio.
Well, I mean, possibly so. I mean, in some countries, the father will get 6 to 9 months of paid sort of parental leave during that. When I had my second child, I was given 3 days of damn leave, and I had to take that as my holiday.
What were you doing at the time? Was that when you were teaching?
Yeah, yeah, as a teacher, yeah. It was it's shit, man.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what, 3 days? What am I going
Wow,
to do with
thanks for
3
the 3
days?
days of my kid.
Sometimes that's
It was
enough,
nice to
isn't
see him. It was nice to see him come home, you know, and sleep for no time, and now I'm back to work.
it? Was that it's that was in your lap dancer days. Mama don't know what he's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. Nick
Now,
Cannon of the Netherlands.
do you think that he reached out to the women himself for his freelance work, or do you think they reached out to him because of his good reputation?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Just back up here, it's there was a part that deliberately lied about this in order to persuade the parents to take him as a donor. So you know,
Yeah,
maybe
but there's no
like
way to tell though if he reached out to them or they reached out to him though, because like the thing is, if he was doing marketing behind it too, this guy's a fucking genius.
maybe there's like a Craigslist for this
He's
sort
cold
of thing,
calling.
you know?
He's cold calling. Jennifer
Yeah.
L. Jennifer L. I wonder what the last name is. Hello, Jennifer L. Are you with somebody? Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
No? Do you want some?
Your number has been specially
'Cause I have,
selected
you know.
to win a donation. Get to see him,
I'm gonna deposit it
Jonathan.
right in your box.
Check your inbox. Well, yeah. But all you need is a takey burster and a PO box, really, don't you? But right, let's now the next one. Next one is a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy.
Oh,
Alien-like creature
Oh.
that shoots tree-like web to take over its prey is absolutely terrifying. Now, I should probably say there's a bit of a warning or some such thing. But this is particularly crazy. This is particularly crazy. What's this?
oh, I hate these worms. Ah,
Look at that.
I wonder how many people just saying like disturbed.
It's actually kind of crazy that this came after that last piece of news, isn't it?
Yeah, right. I wonder if he could do shit like that, and that's what got him so popular.
That's how he managed
Like,
to.
look, most people it just comes out and just right. My shit doesn't come out like that. My shit comes out in fractals. Okay, that's why it's so 550.
Yeah.
It
So
costs
what-
550. No, I have 550 successful results to show you.
yeah, all at once. You know, it's just have.
The thing is, I can
lines and
imagine him
lines
having
of-
the same confidence that they did in Step Brothers. You know, like sitting down in the meeting, like, yeah, we should be rich for the job.
And the Oscar goes
I
to
am.
Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight.
I seem to have started something playing.
Accepting
I'm
the
not quite
Oscar
sure.
on behalf of Heath Ledger are his father,
What's up?
I don't know.
Oh my
I-
God.
No idea how that quite happened, but suddenly we had Heath Ledger accepting an award for something.
Oh, I wonder what he got an award for.
I don't know.
Probably for being the best. Probably for being the best Joker.
Yeah. But yeah. So the that last video was it's a type of like a worm, and what it does is it lives in the sea and it sort of spits these things out and eats all these little kind of microbes and stuff like that. So
Oh, so
yeah.
it don't overtake. So the way it was worded, you would think that it overtakes prey that's like large. You wouldn't think like microbe level.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I suppose, plankton to the whale. The sort of, yeah, we're talking on a different sort of way. But yeah, that's just too crazy. I wouldn't have let it do that. I don't think I could have put up with that. That's just a bit too.
No, not me either, man. I would have totally threw that fucking thing. Ugh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to throw your thing, but it's fucked.
On to the next. Our next one is this. Is it a bee? Is a bee a fish? California court says it could be. Is a bee
Is
a
a bee a
fish?
fish? I gotta say I don't believe a bee could be a fish just because I know a lot about fish biology and I know a lot about bee biology, and I think that this is about to take a very crazy turn. So let's go ahead and lay the story on me.
Are you curious? Are you curious? I don't understand the question. Yeah, it is. It's yeah. Is it be a fish? Well, the thing is though, isn't the definition of a fish quite broad anyway? Isn't it? There's
Yeah, but
sort
they're
of
aquatic
concept
though.
that there's
That's
no
where
such
that's
thing
where
as a
the
fish.
but the thing, the difference is though that fish, squid could be a fish, a shark could be a fish, but a fucking parakeet couldn't be a fish. You know what I mean?
True, true. I'm not a fish, as far as I'm aware. But let's go on. Let's have a little look through. So apparently it's a big debate of whether or not they are or not fish. Apparently the Centre of Food Safety, the Xerxes Society for Invertebrate Conservation, and the Defenders of Wildlife. There's a catchy name for your club, isn't it? Wanted 4 types of bumblebees to be listed as endangered and to be protected. The problem is that the CESA protects native species or subspecies of bird, mammal, fish, amphibian, reptile, or plant, notably not insects.
So instead of amending the what they protect, we're gonna change. That's what dude. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. They're pushing it. They're pushing it beyond pushing it. They're pushing it literally so far on. They're pushing it on me so hard that I feel like I need to call a representative to talk to or something. This is just getting nuts.
Yeah, that's
getting
it.
Nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, as you say, rather than change, because they have to change all their stationery and all that kind of stuff. That CSA people. So rather than doing that, because apparently the key part is that bees are invertebrates, and so therefore. The 4 bumblebee species technically fit under CESA's definition of fish, and therefore can be protected in California as an endangered species. And this was ruled by a court.
Well, that's gonna be crazy because the only people that are gonna know about the fish laws aren't gonna be anywhere near the fucking bees.
That's the thing. So yeah. But then again, it was but then someone tried to overturn it in 2020. In Sacramento County Superior Court, but they argued that invertebrates referred to only to marine invertebrates, not insects.
According to who, though? According to who? You know what I mean? You got to think about that too. It's like somebody saying, "Oh my God, did you hear? They're giving away everybody's houses. The BBC said they're giving away everyone's houses." That's just as trustable as that. That's the American version of BBC right there.
Yeah. But here's the names of the bees that they wanted, though. They wanted the crotch bumblebee, the Franklin bumblebee, the Suckley cuckoo bumblebee, and the Western bumblebee. So they just wanted the ones with the silly names, really, didn't they? I mean, that's yeah. So,
I don't know what kind of bees those were in the picture, but they were kind of cute. They looked tiny. Like they had. I've never seen a bee with a white ass. I'm not saying I'm checking out their asses, but I'm saying, I mean, aren't you?
I thought that was. It must be more sort of the Britishy.
They must be from Hawaii, and they came in with their hula skirts. Isn't there a word for those?
I don't know. The chat are generally really good at this sort of thing. Let's see if the chat can tell us what the hula skirts are called.
What is the Hawaiian hula skirts official name?
Yeah. If it wants to be identified as a fish, let's let it be. Someone's said a lay, but not sure of the spelling. There we go. A lay, apparently. There we go. Good job, Lady Wendy.
A lay.
Oh,
so we're
no,
still
that's
talking
the
about that
flowers.
dude who was sucking toes. No.
Yeah, just don't lay in the bed.
That's what he saw, dude. He probably got the color off of them, and then it was what got him all hot and bothered and have to try it in the hotel. Those two were talking about it like, oh my God, thank God that dude stopped coming around here.
Yeah.
They just stung his fucking lip. He'd have finally had a chin.
In England, they've got little white bums like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I've never seen one with a white butt.
Yeah.
And see, in the U.S., they either look like that, but really big and fat, and like just black and yellow, or like if they have white on them, it's gonna fucking hurt usually because like they're one of the. If they have white on them and they're in my area, because I'm in Pennsylvania, so if they have white on them and they're in my area, they usually have a stinger that doesn't come out. So like they just.
Yeah, no, that's kind of standard issue. We've got someone's been on the Google. Lady Wendy's been on the Google, and it's a ku'u pu'u.
Ooh, poo.
I think I'm saying that right. It's Ku apostrophe U, and then P-O apostrophe O. So Ku'u Pu'u, I think. That's how you say that? Ku'u Pu'u. Oh, you getting on it?
Yeah. I gotta check for myself here. Oh, it's it is a. Oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's like. Ku'u
Pu'u. Yeah. Ku'u Pu'u. Ku'u Pu'u.
It's like the state fish. It's like the Hawaiian state fish. So let me see if I can say that.
Hawaiian state of fish. They have a
Yeah,
state
the
of
Hawaiian state fish. See if you can say it. It's the huma huma unu kunu uku wapua. Every time I've heard a Hawaiian say it, they say it like
What's it
Hawaiian
Hawaiian state fish.
I mean, it's a trigger fish. It's just a Hawaiian trigger fish. But I mean,
Oh
the
my God.
actual name for it though is the huma nuku
Huma nuku apua. Huma
You woke him up. He was sucking his toe because you made noise.
Well, I like that. That is the most impressive thing. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm presuming it's got a short name.
If Mocha was a fish, he'd be that one.
Yeah, and it's still I'd rhyme it with pizza. Yeah.
That's all right, dude. He'll get a Grammy for it at the Latin Grammys in 2025.
No, of course, yeah. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, and it totally wasn't, I don't know, Islamic bloody Mills or whatever it was that it was actually at the time. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. We learned things about bees. On to the next. Father that adopted a child that turned out to be a 22-year-old feared she would stab him after finding knives under her bed.
That is Chucky's Bride right there. That's the plot. That's the plot of Chucky's Bride. Get her out of the house. I don't care what she looks. I mean, she looks like a cute little girl, but I mean, finding out she's 22, now she just looks like a creepy old lady.
Yeah.
Like, she went from cute little girl to creepy old lady that quick.
Yeah. So they believe they were adopting somebody with a rare bone condition. And
Yeah, like as in no one's gonna ever want to bone her because she looks like she'll end up in jail.
Apparently she'd also tried to poison and kill his wife. And there's a bit of a theme running in here as well. And one night he opened his eyes and Natalia, the person, was standing in the foot of his bed, no toes involved in this one, with a knife in her hand. Yeah. That is insane.
And that's why Shia LaBeouf sleeps with a gun under his pillow.
Yeah. It says
That's when you wake up and just do it.
It says she'd also put thumbtacks face up on the stairs, so when we'd walk up and down stairs, we'd be stepping on thumbtacks. Yeah.
Yo, I did that to my great grandmother when I was a little kid. I was like 4 or 5. I remember she had one of those plastic things that was clear and it had like the little pokies on the bottom, right? So I'd flip that fucker over, and like I thought it was hilarious because even my papa step on, I'd be like, oh, he chased my ass all around the house, but he was like, he had a tumor the size of a basketball in his stomach, so ain't no catching me when I'm fucking 5 years old and rambunctious. But no, they got rid of it then, so I started using thumbtacks, and I now looking back, I'm like, wow. Thank God I got locked up at a young age and learned how to not be a complete fucking imbecile.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's funny shit now looking back, and I bet you she's even laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever she's at. You know? I don't ever say like they're up there, you know what I mean, or they're down there. Like everyone always assumes their loved ones go to heaven. I mean, like, hey, let's face facts. You know what I mean? Like, definitely, almost every one of our fathers is in hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely your grandfather. You know what I mean? Like, granddad's definitely in hell. Because he beat the shit out of your grandmother too often.
Mine used to, my grandfather used to ride shirtless on a horse bareback across the Welsh downs to get away from the police. So I've got this sort of like, it's like one of these, I don't know, Mills and Boon novels of this sort of like, this Welshman riding across the valleys the valise, all that sort of business.
I wish people still use horses. Like, I mean, I feel like I was just saying that to my chick the other day. I said, could you imagine like how much more connected with Mother Nature like we'd all be if we just like hopped on a fucking horse to go to the market, if we were only grabbing 2 or 3 things, as opposed to, because I mean it literally is right down the street for most people. So it's like, do you really need to turn the car over and, you know, spend $85 to go 2 blocks down and come back?
Yeah. Now hay, I imagine, is a lot cheaper than
Yeah, and you got a buddy then too, so like, you know what I mean?
What would you call your horse?
What would I call my horse?
Yeah.
Whatever got it to not bite me or kick me.
I call mine Alan.
I'm just kidding. It would depend on what he looked like. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. If it was a colt, it'd be harder to name than if it was a mare. Like, a mare, I feel like I'd come up with a name immediately, but I feel like a colt, I'd be like, his name is. And I have to wait.
The thing is, a horse is like really crazy. Like they're just. I find them like pretty scary creatures. You know, they're this great big.
No, that's just. I feel like that's just because you probably don't have a lot of experience with them. You gotta know how to. So like every time I've taken somebody around horses, because I've been around horses like pretty often. And the thing is, like, if you treat the horse, you gotta literally treat the horse like it's a person. Like it's like a dog mixed with a squirrel mixed with a cat and a monkey. It's like that. Those animals all combined create this thing that you can ride and plow fields with.
Is it a fish?
Yeah, and and like, and the thing is, like, I mean, shit.
Yeah. Oh, someone says here they'd call this Kevin. If I've got a friend who's just named their cat Kevin, which I'd rather like. That turns out it was a girl.
Kevin 1811.
Yeah, it's what 11.
Kevin 1811. I don't know why I said that. I think he was a YouTuber back in the day.
Ah, yeah. It's more sort of pass this to Kevin. But yes, yeah, named it Kevin and then found out it was a girl. So
damn, you know what I would love to do? Now you got me thinking about it. I would totally, if it was I would want one of them horses that have the really long hair in the, like, because I would love to do like the French braids, like down the back. Like even like the single French braids that just hang off the side individually, like the fringes on the bottom of a shirt that of a girl who's like trying to get laid. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. That was sexist.
Oh, do you know, I didn't even notice. I was enjoying it. It just sounded fun. Yeah, so apparently she went on Dr. Phil as well. And so Dr. Phil had asked them then whether or not they planned on actually doing them any harm. And she said, no, if I ever went into the room, it was to wake them up. I was either scared of a nightmare or something like that.
So does she know she's 22?
You'd hope, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd certainly hope. Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, you know, you never know. She's psycho enough to be standing at the bottom of the bed with a fucking knife in her hand, dude. You can't just go assuming she knows how old she is. She's assuming it's okay to do that.
Although she does look a bit older there.
Ooh,
So
yeah, definitely. I'd have been able to tell right there.
And this very much looks like the kind of like orange, you know, jumpsuit that you get in prisons there a bit, doesn't it?
Definitely. That looks like the one I used to have to wear, but just not as, mine wasn't as pale.
I see. So you guys got collars. When I did a bit, we had grey. You just wore grey. Everything was grey.
We wore gray if we were in the unit, but if we would go out to like the doctors and shit, they would dress us up in those ones and shackled us all together. I'd have to have like a leather belt in the front that had a little loop that they'd put their cuffs through, and then that would be attached to the shackles, and then I would have a chain going from my shackles to the guy in front of me. I hated going to the doctors because you walk in and like there's this little kid who just like is being masqueraded like a murderer. Old ladies are like trying to read Reader's Digest. That's like.
I'm gonna say some of the GSP in the comments says don't dead name the cat. It's like, yeah, sorry Kevin, but Kevin actually kept a name. So Kevin is now still Kevin. It's just Kevin the girl these days.
Do you think that her intention was to live her life acting like a kid, or like what? I don't know what was her intent here.
Well, that
is she literally looking for a family, or like what?
Yeah, you've got to ask what the end game was, really, haven't you? I mean, but look at her. That if that you wouldn't believe that's a 22-year-old, would you? That
No, No, I would be calling the police immediately if I seen that person on the streets.
Yeah, so she was. They adopted Natalia Grace from an orphanage in the Ukraine in 2010. She had a form of dwarfism called spondylophysicele. Yes, which is probably the national fish.
Spondylio
Can you see that?
Piphiocele.
Spon...
Spondylopiphyseal. Spondylopiphyseal.
That sounds...
Spondylopiphyseal your fucking lips or else I'm gonna kill you, bitch. That's how she was talking to the mother. That's Damn, I wonder. So how old was the parent? How old were the couple then?
I don't. Oh, hello. That's look at that face. He's annoyed there.
Yeah. Get out of my room in the middle of the night. We're in the living room, Dad.
Don't have an age on the parents.
Well, that's kind of discouraging because, like, I would like to know what the age gap was here. If you ever adopt a daughter trying to move in on you, you know what I mean. You got to make sure that she's in the age range that would make it okay. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's got to be a difficult. Yeah, what was her end game? Was the end game to get rid of the wife because she tried to kill the wife first? So that's a bizarre.
And that young bodybuilder is now 30. Look at that 30. Right there is her fucking soulmate. Oh, gone. Soulmate's gone. In the ad.
Yeah. Apparently she would make statements and draw pictures saying she wanted to kill family members, roll them up in a blanket, and put them in the backyard. Yeah.
That sounds like she's done it before.
Well, it seems that she was quite open with it, really. It says, I saw her putting chemicals, bleach, Windex, something like that in my coffee, and I asked her, what are you doing? She said, I'm trying to poison you. So surely, if that's... I mean, surely at that point you say, well, actually, I don't think this is going to work. I think you need to be somewhere else. At that point, surely.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's kind of like... Right then and there, it's like... Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put some poison in your coffee,
let's head
Dad.
on to our next story. Oh, my ear's falling out.
Damn, we are flying through these like we're playing blackjack with the pros.
Oh yes. Let's see here.
Is it fun?
Okay, so there's another hotel one. Hotel guest said stranger was given key to his room, then got naked and into his bed. And here he is. If a man didn't resemble like a baked bean or a refried bean, if ever I saw one, like that's
Every motherfucker that looks like that's name is Charlie.
yeah. Mason Sanders is threatening to sue the hotel. He's not actually going to sue him. He's threatening. He probably just wants a bit of a bit of credit on Airbnb.
What's that out of court settlement?
Yeah. So he booked into this 4-star hotel. It looks like it should be better than a 4-star hotel, doesn't it? So yes, he booked a room in this Huntington Park hotel to escape his home while it was being renovated. 60 quid on a room. That's pretty cheap. 60 quid for a room in a place like that.
That's really cheap.
That's pretty cheap.
Like what, 89 American?
Yeah. See, that's the thing is he didn't know he was sharing. He's when 24-year-old Mason rolled over to see if his partner was climbing into bed with him in the early hours of the morning, he realised it was a total stranger. Again, you can use that. You can use the excuse from earlier, can't you? You can sort of like.
Listen, I got a situation like that. I crawled into somebody else's tent at a music festival one time, and it didn't go in a weird way, simply because of the drugs that were involved. You know what I mean? Like, I was climbing into bed, and I'm like, "Would you move over?" And dude's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm in the wrong tent. I'm sorry." I left and went to my tent. I think. But, like, see, that kind of shit don't just happen in the regular world, I don't think, anyway, until, like, you know what I mean? What the hell you got going on over in the UK, man? I mean, shit. Our news stories over here are so depressing. You guys got some funny ones. A lot of people trying to do, like, sexual shit over there, though. I mean, shit. You guys are so close to Amsterdam. You're way closer to Amsterdam than us over here.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's
California just, dude, LA just legalized prostitution.
What?
They didn't legalize. They completely decriminalized it. So now the way that they said it on the news is, if you want to be hoeing, you can make your money. That's literally how they put it.
Fucking
They were like, if you want to be hoeing, and you can now hoe and get your money without having to worry about being harassed by the police.
bloody hell. Is it a Democrat state, that one?
I honestly, I believe so. Yeah, definitely a Democrat state, without a doubt. But yeah, I mean, realistically, there's not really a. It's hard to say Republican or Democrat or Libertarian, because realistically, I don't think any of them are what they say they are, because I don't think they make decisions based on politics. I think they make decisions based on who's lobbying them. But
Right.
he explained that I reached my arm out thinking it was my partner next to me. I caressed his cheek and I said, "Baby," but instead it was some random drunk guy.
What's that?
Receptionist has handed me a complete stranger a key to my room. Could have been killed. At the hotel are refusing to accept the severity of this situation. To the hotel, I was expecting good things. Good things. I pulled up, it looked like a fucking 5-star hotel, and I knew it was a 4-star hotel, but something about the fucking scenery said this is a 5-star retreat. And then I found out why they took a star away. Because ain't my partner climbing into bed with me. It's some random fucking dude.
I think the hotel had, it was a 4-star hotel, but he's got a 5 head, isn't he?
Oh my God,
your
dude.
forehead's a forehead. It's got 4 fingers.
I mean,
right?
imagine fucking being in that situation. His wig probably got blown back, bro. That's post situation picture.
I had a full head of hair when I came to this damn hotel. Then I got your
His eyebrows rose that high.
Yeah. He's only pissed because it was a bloke, probably. Like, if it was a woman, he wouldn't have said nothing. So the thing is also the question, okay, so he thought his missus was joining him in bed, but it turned out it was some bloke. So what happened to his missus? Where did she go? And why wasn't she already there in bed with him?
She's with the other bloke.
Yeah, she's with the dude's missus, yeah.
She's with the dude that gave that guy the key.
Yeah. So, this is a much better alternative. Yeah, I don't have to sit with my baked bean-headed husband. Yeah. It seems to be his forehead's embarrassed.
Don't worry, I'll take care of him for you, sweetheart. I'm gonna go up and take care of him for you real good.
It's all right, love, I've got you.
You could tell it was something messed up because
Whoa.
he's trying to settle outside of court, so he obviously doesn't want to go to court. And look at wow, the effects that it had on his hairline. Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Wow, I feel for this man. You better at least pay for his fucking Bosley.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he just didn't want it to get out in the press and thought, I don't know. I know what I'll do. I'm gonna like take it to court and we'll sell it out of court so the newspapers don't hear about it. And the next thing you know, blazoned on the newspaper. Here's old fucking Gary or whatever his name is. Mason. Yeah.
It was something that'll stick with him forever. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is serious. He gave him something. He says it was a horrific experience and something that will stick with me forever. What a way to just announce that you have something that's, you wouldn't want to tell people you caught that. Come on.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
This guy's fucking up.
so apparently they offered him a refund and his bar tab from the night before. Like,
Excuse me, sir. We're sorry about you almost getting poked in the chili hole, but would you like a refund? We have you $60.
As the thing, did he roll over and try to spoon him? Is that why he kind of got pissed?
You better clamp my fucking toilet paper too, because I went through 8 rolls.
Yeah. There's some places in England where you actually have to pay for electricity. Like there's some there's like there's this chain of it's cheap ass fucking like holiday park thing. It's called Pontins, and literally you've got to buy your own electricity. And pay for that, and you've got to bring your own bedding. You've got to pay for actually if you want towels, you've got to pay for towels. It's there's some shitty places over here, man. I tell you, it's But
I mean, like, to be honest though, you can never like. The thing is though, I don't know what to even do about it, because it's like, if all the people that had a brain came together and we made a community. All those idiots would kill us, man. They'd all kill us.
Yeah.
They would all kill it. They'd be like, they're plotting something. I know they are because they're all intelligent. They're all in one area.
Yeah, that's it. The thing that it'd be like, what's that film? What's the film with Mr. Slappy, Will Smith? He's the last guy on the planet.
When he has the dog.
Yeah. What's that one?
I am some. It's not I am Sam. That's a good movie.
I Am Legend. That's it. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it'd be like that, wouldn't it? Except with, smart people.
Well, they're basically a dog. Everybody who's smart understands one thing, and it's that we don't really know shit. You know what I mean? So we're just open to hear everybody's interpretation, and then we say, okay, so logically, what can we gather from all this, right? But everyone else is too busy with, nope, that one semantic thing that I can pull out now that I'm going to turn into 80 other fucking things before we ain't going to be on the same subject by the time I'm done talking, motherfucker. That's literally how it goes. I'm like, oh, damn. Going to bed? Hey, kid.
All right, you ready for another?
Yes, I am.
Give me a number between 1 and 9.
8.
8. Oh, okay. This is a bit of a random one.
I always look for cool shit on maps.
It is. It's the Google Maps one where they
I haven't found this one yet. Damn, look at him fucking
a guy getting hit by the Google
It
car.
looks like a fucking NPC though that you hit like on GTA, like he's still in the position.
Yeah. So this guy gets hit by it is the Google car, right? Okay. So the Google, I don't know, it's probably a Lada or something, isn't it? This one. So the Google Lada runs this dude over in the middle of, buttfuck nowhere. God knows where this is. Where's this? That's literally it. That is literally the entirety of that whole thing. All right.
They didn't even give you well, we know that it's North 1. It's on something route North 1, but I mean, that's definitely not in the US, I don't think.
Well, so judging
don't
by
have
this
nice
house.
houses.
Yeah, judging by this
we don't have
house.
nice houses here.
Yeah. But he does have a helmet. So, that's that probably rules out a number of countries.
I mean, he had the helmet.
Yeah. He might have had shoes on at one point as well, because they fucking disappeared as well. Yeah. But,
I mean, while we're at it, he had a motorcycle too, but I mean, now it's fucked. Google's probably like, well, he's seen it. He can tell him what happened.
yeah. You thought it'd have at least gone back and kind of deleted that bit. Right, we just go back a couple of steps and we'll just erase that little bit out. We'll edit that bit out. But no, they went with it.
Who was on the Google? Who did the Google car pictures in bumfucked Egypt? Matt? Did you hit a guy with a car?
Gary, what have you been up to again with the Google car? See, I'd expect that from like the Bing car or something like that. You know what I mean? These sort of slightly lower budget like maneuvers, but no, that's what it is.
That looks like the top of an expedition or an explorer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or like a Suzuki. It could be a Suzuki, one of those SUV Suzukis that every soccer mom has.
Yeah. It's got the fairing on it to make it look great, but really it's like a 40cc Honda, like underneath. Yeah.
Let's talk about the car, but oh my god, you're talking about that
his amazing bike. Yes.
His amazing bike. Not too amazing. It didn't get him out of the fucking way in time. I mean, shit. I would like to see how much road was the other way. You know what I mean? Like to see how much, because I would want to see like how much did he have leading up to him that this car could have possibly seen, because he looks like he's in a good position to get away right there. You can see the shadow that the car is coming.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Then
that
it's
car
like,
must have been moving. Yeah, that Google car must have been fucking hammering it down that road. But but he's certainly, if he was like, if you had the kind of like, look, he's looking at the camera, then perhaps, but no, not a fucking clue. Yeah. All right then. Let me see where you can see this one. What's this fucking? Get rid of that.
Chainsaws were invented.
No? Yes.
Okay. People started after learning alarming reason. Oh, okay.
After learning the alarming reason, chainsaws were invented. The alarming reason. Any thoughts?
I believe it was, wasn't it so that they could like process meat? Isn't it to process meat? Didn't they use it to process meat or something like that? Or
to a degree, meat is definitely kind of in the story. Yes, it's in the story.
Oh my god. Oh man, the way she's leading into it, I can't even take a guess, man. It's like I'm trying to think like, what could you use a chainsaw for besides like what they like commonly used for, you know what I mean? It's like one of those why is there a hole in the pen cap type deals, you know what I mean? You never learn until like you learn that it was to so you wouldn't choke on it. Oh, Katy Perry's even having trouble looking at it. Look at that.
Yeah. She says apparently she was big Barbie or something, wasn't it? Because Barbies have a problem with her eye or something. Yeah, I'm not a robot. It's I'm doing an impression of Barbie. Sort of thing. Anyway, so the reason then that chainsaws were invented, it was something to do with the. Here's another word. We're on the words this evening. Symphysiotomy. Yes.
Symphysiotomy, yeah.
Where it involves separating the pelvic joint of a woman giving birth to allow the baby to pass through more easily. Imagine it. Oh, don't worry, missus, I've got you. This'll sort you.
Don't worry.
That baby will be out in no time.
Your cesarean is the best in the nation.
Yeah. Damn it! I wish I'd have kept that insurance. Yeah. So yeah. 18. The Scottish. Of course, they were Scottish doctors. They was on the whiskey, weren't they? Yeah. And John and James came up with a device to improve the.
Can you imagine the girls just like screaming and like the Scottish doctor just like has his kilt with the oil for the saw right here. He's like, "Hang on a fucking second, I'm gonna get this oiled."
Hang on a second.
Are you ready, miss?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This fucking always needs double primed.
Oh, hang on a
fucking
second
gas
there,
line
brother. Yeah, but
Congratulations, it's. Oops.
So first they used to use rigid saws and knives, but then they thought, no, I've got a much better idea. We're gonna get a fucking chainsaw. That's what we're gonna invent.
Have you ever used a chainsaw?
It's it?
Like, have you ever used a chainsaw like
I have,
without
and
somebody
I've
looking at you?
nearly taken my foot off. Yes.
Yeah, like they're so easy to like. As soon as you touch something, it's like, and it's missing a fucking big chunk. You know what I mean? It's not like all those fucking really safe things to use that they're naming that they were using. It's like, hey, I've got a great idea, guys. Hey, I know that we're being very super accurate with the way we've been using our scalpels and shit, but I want to make something that's like 18-inch long blade on it, right? It rotates so fast that you can't even fucking see it, right? Imagine how fast we can get done with having these babies then. And everyone in the room was like, "It's right, he's right."
That's it. Yeah, it was when the industrial sort of period came along, wasn't it? They go, "Oh no, I could get this done a hell of a lot quicker." Well, don't you worry about we don't worry about them women particularly. Off comes the leg.
Henry Ford's like, "You're fucking welcome, ladies."
Yep. Yeah. Childbirth. It wasn't made for cutting things, but made for C-sections. How did I not know? Well, that's how would you know? Is the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's.
I've never had that thought. I've never thought when I seen somebody yank on a chainsaw cord and I saw that fucker wind up. I never thought they probably use that in the medical field.
I mean, why not? I mean, you've got the, it's like pulling the baby out. Oh, it's not coming. All right. That's you can kind of see the leap there, can't you? See from one to the next. But while we're on the subject of babies, 85-year-old Florida man arrested for trying to buy a child in a grocery store for $100K. Yes.
He looks like his name.
He doesn't. Helmut. Here he is. Yeah. He's buying kids, isn't he? Yeah. He looks like he's just been done by. Do you ever see that TV show To Catch a Predator with?
Oh yeah, I actually been watching this one. He doesn't since Chris Hansen doesn't do it anymore. There's a guy named Skeeter Hansen on YouTube. I just watched him do one of this person who you know what? Hey, fuck it. I'm gonna be respectful. So I'm just gonna be respectful in a rude way though, because that's the way it needs to happen in order for people to get real. But so her decides that she she wants to have sex with this 13, 14-year-old boy. So she's like, her is like continually asking him, who is the little boy, to send nudes and shit. So they hit her up and say, hey, we want to give you a brand deal for your TikTok. So her shows up and she starts singing some Demi Lovato. And I was like, how does this do? How does this duo who's catching this person, how do they not give it away? You know what I mean? Jeez, I gotta be careful what I say. I don't want anybody to think I'm being disrespectful to the, you know what I mean? Because hey, if you disrespect them, they'll kill you.
Yeah. And it's like you don't piss off the vegans, isn't it? You know, don't diss the vegans. They'll be after.
I like Ted Nugent's argument, even though I'm not a pro hunter anymore. I don't like pro hunting. I'm not pro hunting. I'm actually anti-hunting just because I've seen what the wildlife. It ain't even about the hunters, man. It's about what the Wildlife Federation has done with how they spread out animals that are predatory. Like they brought coyotes to Pennsylvania.
Hunting was a euphemism there for a second.
Oh no. I mean, I'm saying like the way it works though is like, you know, they control everything way too much. Did you see that in Florida they killed some dude's boa constrictors thinking that they were like what are they called? They're invasive in Florida. Not a reticulated python. I'm drawing a blank. But either way, they weren't from Florida. What's up?
Anaconda?
No, not an anaconda. But I want an anaconda eventually, but not a green anaconda. But yeah, like I raised boa constrictors, but that's why that story hit home with me because they were like, we gotta come and kill all of your. Starts with a B, I think.
And it's not boa.
No, definitely not boa, because that's how they fucked up. In the video of them killing the boa, they realized what kind of snake it was, and they're like, oh.
This is snakes.
Florida Game Commission kills snakes.
Okay. Florida.
That'd be easier to find, yeah.
Game Commission kills snakes. Well, I spelled
typing really fast so you people don't see a search history. Don't let them fool you.
It just says pythons.
Reticulated. It was reticulated. Okay, so it was reticulated. So you're not allowed to have reticulated pythons in Florida anymore.
Right.
So this guy called and responsibly said, I have some reticulateds here. They show up and he says, hey, don't kill this specific one or any of these ones. And you know what they do? They just start killing them all, man. And when they realized what they were doing, which is like fucked up, because like if you're gonna go to kill animals because you're trying to do a job that you're specifically like, the thing is, people, I don't know, it's like they'll go to do something specific that they're super proud of, like, yeah, I do this really specific job that requires so much specific memory. I'm very specific about how I do it. But in reality, no, you're not. You're sloppy as fuck. That's why you're talking about how specific you are.
Yeah. I think I was looking at a documentary about that. Actually, them finding like there was I think it was anacondas in the Amazon.
Whoa!
They were given like
dude, plot twist. You just fucking. Dude, this guy was trying to pick up a little girl at Winn-Dixie. Did you ever watch Because of Winn-Dixie?
Oh, Winn-Dixie. I've never heard of a Winn-Dixie. What's that? Is that like 7-Eleven?
Oh, you gotta watch it, dude. You're gonna cry at the end. I cry at the end every time. Anna Sophia Robb plays in it, and she's like you know, a cute little girl, and like she gets this dog, and they name him Winn-Dixie based after the store, because there's a store called Winn-Dixie. It's kind of like a. Let me think of what you guys have in England that would be equal to it. It's like a. Do you guys have Publix?
No.
Damn.
We got.
What sucks is like the corporate America like really tries to keep shit centralized, so it's hard to know what you have over there that they are controlling, that they changed the name of. You know what I mean?
Someone's saying Walmart. We've got a company over here owned by Walmart, which is called AdStar, but it's kind of more like a supermarket, not like a smaller.
Yeah,
place.
that's like Winn-Dixie. Yeah, that's like Winn-Dixie. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So
it's like smaller. It's not like it's not quite a superstore. And it's not quite a mega mall.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly a mini mart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sort of somewhere in the middle. Yeah. It's owned by Walmart. But it's as far as it doesn't have. It's just like I don't know. It's kind of like a grocery store. It's got like your candies. It's got your groceries, your bread products and shit. But it doesn't sell like, you know, like we have the places over here called like Lidl and Aldi. which you can you go in there and sometimes you can also buy a tent or a head torch or some shit like that. It's got these like
Yeah,
crazy...
I've been looking for star fruit. Like I look in stores like that for star fruit, man. I love star fruit, but like it's barely ever around my area.
Oh, you could buy where I'm at. We've got because it's a really sort of ethnic area, like just over there. It's a really ethnic area. So there's a lot of I'm going to say ethnic because I don't want to get it wrong. There's a lot of really all the like grocery store, like the fruit and veg places.
What you
are all
should
really
do?
like that. Go on.
We should both pick like our favorite non-perishable items that are food, and I'll send you items, you send me items, and then we'll make a live and unbox them together and enjoy the food items.
I like that. Yeah. I'll send you some English shit. Yeah. That we'll
I'll send
do
you
that.
some American shit.
We'll fucking do
Oh,
that.
you won't want it, but
100%. Yeah, 100%.
it's like the difference in cigarettes, man. I had to quit smoking cigarettes because they kill us with cigarettes over here. But I had a pack. I smoked a cigarette that was from the Queen cigarettes. Somebody had gone over there on a deployment, and they got a pack of cigarettes. They said it was like the Queen cigarettes. The filter was made of sugar cane, and the tobacco was grown like organically. And like when I hit that cigarette, man, it wasn't like hitting a American cigarette. It was like the best cigarette I'd ever tried, next to a Japanese cigarette. Behind that would be like an Indian cigarette. And I to be honest with you, like American cigarettes suck ass. Like anybody who has never tried a cigarette that wasn't American, if you're an American smoker, you're not a real smoker. You're a drug addict who's sucking on fucking chemicals.
I'll send you some,
Real
some
tobacco.
cigarettes as well. I'll send you some of those. See, that's the thing. You see, is it Takis? Like you have those crisps, like Takis. Is it called Takis?
Oh yeah, we have Takis. Yeah.
Over here, it's £6 for a bag of Takis, which I guess is like something like about $7 or $8.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Let's see how much Takis are here.
Yeah, all
Damn, they're way cheaper here, bro.
if you wanna
American,
buy,
we're looking at like $1.89.
bloody
Oh, for a
hell.
small bag though.
Right. Oh yeah. No, they do the Fuegos. Yeah, the Taki Fuego.
10.9 ounce.
Yeah, it's I think it's $5.95 for a bag of those. It's crazy.
5.24 here, American.
Or Twinkies. You can buy
Why'd
Twinkies
you guys
in
the
some
food prices
places.
so nuts?
Say again.
What about why is your food prices so high over there? Is there like is it because of like importing, or it's like what is it? That's causing them to be so expensive?
Anything that's like in we've got a Tesco's supermarket, and they have like an American section, and everything in there is just like fucking super priced, like Twinkies.
You let me know what you
pay,
like in there, and I'll get it for you for the real price and send it to you without taxing the shit out of you. Because they're like, oh, our citizens, we care about them so much.
Well,
they pay
I
our
like
bills.
the idea. We just do a surprise box of stuff. I'll send you a box of English things.
Okay.
And you shall this
Yorkshire
could be fun.
tea. At least make sure you include one Yorkshire tea bag.
Oh, Yorkshire tea. Oh, of course. Yes. I'll send you a pack of Yorkshire tea. See, that shit's nice and cheap.
I'm not. Yeah. I mean, well, where you live, where I live, that shit's fucking expensive. See.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, I'll do that for sure. Someone's saying here, Rat, can you send me some of Kay's cooking? Are you familiar with Kay's cooking? Have you ever seen that?
Are they talking about my K?
Oh no, yeah, sorry, yeah. Kay is this internet individual. She's a British woman that makes these, like, she does like a baked bean pie or shit like
Yeah,
this.
my old lady's name is Kay too, but she doesn't really cook much unless I direct her on how to do it. The thing is that like a lot of American mothers didn't teach their daughters how to cook in the last generation. So now, like, I'm noticing even my friends that are females are like, "How do you cook so good?" And I'm like, I was homeless, so I just throw some shit together, and y'all always love it. So
Learn, yeah.
I learned salt good, yes. Sugar not so good unless it's in the drink.
Yeah. Okay, suddenly, yes. We're just saying in the chat there about Kay's got this son that tests all her food. His name's Lee, And poor thing, he must be so bad. Someone's granny taught them. They're saying, yeah. See, I learnt from same as you, trial and error. I moved into a squat when I was about like 14, and so I was it was literally you just try. And so that was the thing. It was the same back learning a musical instrument when I was younger. You didn't have the internet, and the YouTube certainly didn't exist as it was today. And so you couldn't just kind of go, okay, how do I cook a ... You either had to go and it's like with music books. In order to learn a new tune, like a tune I liked, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and whatever, I'd actually go to a music store. I'd get one of the books, and I'd stand there for ages trying to fucking learn all the chords from the songs, and then go off. So anything I wanted to learn, I'd have to go and get like an actual book. But that's the thing, I've got cookbooks. I'm very impressed with myself. But I like a bit of Gordon Ramsay, so I've got some of his books.
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, wait, his way to make eggs, his scrambled eggs, is the best way to make them, man. If you keep them continuously stirring, go on the heat, off the heat, and the scrambled eggs, so creamy. They're delicious.
Oh, we've got some Gordon Love in the chat as well. So Lady Wendy remembers making photocopies at a place called a library. Oh, I remember those. Yeah. I remember a thing called a library. Yeah.
You just have to go to the library to get on the computer.
Yeah. God, back in the day. Oh, anyway, so skipping back. So anyway, we've got a few people calling Cap on the story here with Mr. Kolb. Kolb, of course, was a famous sort of psychologist to do with teaching and learning. Yes, so apparently he loved the child, offered 100 grand. But there is that thing, isn't there? If you were to melt down a human body, and you were to take all the gold, all the platinum, all the iron, all this, that, and the other out of a human body, a human would be worth 140,000 pounds. Just for the bits, just for your kind of components.
No way.
Yeah. With all the, if you were to take all the bits and sort of sell them sell the parts down.
Oh, you're saying, okay, I thought you said break it down and then just like distill it into. I was like, you're talking about alchemy right now, man. There you know.
Oh yeah, no, like say so you'd sell the liver off, for example, and then so whatever you've got left, you might you'd I don't know, you'd sell the calcium off, for example. And did you know that calcium is the most common metal in the human body?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that actually calcium is a base metal, and therefore, the most common metal in the human body.
Yeah, magnesium is another one too. It's like we have a lot of magnesium in our body.
So even if you was to sell the kid down for components, that's it'd still be on a make of about 40 grand there. Just
well, maybe he needs some components. He looks like he's got some miles on him. I bet you he's been, that's like the GPU that definitely did mining. All the tech heads out there, they laugh at that one.
Right, on to the next. What we got here? That's not such a great one. Let's move on from that one.
Whoa, yeah, we can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one word that we can't use because I can't say fuck or shit after 7 seconds or something. But right, so there's this amazing painting with all this. If you can kind of see it there, they left all the paint and shit at the bottom, and so a couple came along and they thought that it was a kind of join in and add a bit if you want to kind of a thing. So they added to the painting. Thoughts on modern art, young sir? I know you're a fellow drawer, a fellow artist.
The thing is that here's the deal. The way that is set up. Well, number one, here's the deal. That person's obviously either still working on it, because there's tape on the floor. You could see the tape. It's taped off. Because at first I was like, well, maybe the benefit of the doubt. But then I seen all the signage that they have, and I'm like, nah, they just definitely wanted to fucking get their name in the paper, which they did. But I mean, it's still a dickhead move to do. That right there, that guy could be, you know what I mean? Like, what if he died the day that they did that? And then now it's on their conscience.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like what if he passed away and never got to find out that they defiled his fucking last piece of art? Like, you know, like, well, thank God John died, because if he'd have found out that they touched his painting, he'd have had a fucking conniption. And then John just appears as a spirit, like, you fucked with my painting.
But what's your thought though on? I mean, I'm not into abstraction, you know, and this kind of like
it depends.
pseudo
It depends on
abstraction. It's just, I don't know.
it depends on what the other artist does otherwise too. Like, I mean, there's abstract artists that I will look at their work, and I'm like, I really enjoy. So when I look at abstract stuff, I always try to look for what emotion were they going for. If it looks like they were just trying to throw shit, and I don't like it. But if it's an abstract painting where I could tell they were trying to like use the brush strokes and I look for technique in a painting. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to ask me because like if I'm looking at abstract painting, I'm looking straight for technique. I'm not looking for any kind of, you know, because the technique will tell you what emotion that they were feeling when they did it. Because if you notice that they were going for short, stubby strokes, and you see that they have short, stubby strokes, or like obviously that was spray paint, but I mean even still though with spray paint you could still see the strokes. Like you could see that green one there where it kind of like loops down and around. It's just like, why would you? Or that might not be spray paint, huh?
That looks like it's it's thrown. Oh, stuff like somebody's just said that actually. Is that Mahmood's new work? I like that. Good one, Bobby. Yeah, so it's kind of like, because if you look at, you know, Pollock, okay, aside from the fact Pollock, there is the stories about whether or not Pollock was paid by the CIA to do the artwork that he did, right? But aside from that, he was trying to sort of separate artist from work. So therefore, you know, Pollock would get, you know, a can of paint and he would attach it to a piece of string and swing it across the artwork, and it would create...
That's pretty.
Yeah. And it would create various marks and things like this. And again, it was about separating art from artists. So the piece of work was solely about the expression, solely about what was going on, and not about the person who did it. And that was his whole kind of thinking. But here, you can kind of see it's a removal from that, because you can clearly see that that's somebody flinging the paint, as you said.
What
with
all
that
did they
green one.
add? Yeah, what all did they add to that?
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, can you tell? Like, how
What,
you know,
I mean, what if they added all the fuck? What if there was actually a painting underneath there and they added all that?
yeah, she got a bit carried away. Yeah, but yeah, it was a $440,000 painting.
No, it was a pretentious asshole.
Yeah, $440,000 painting.
Damn, I bet you wouldn't even fucking charge anything near that for a fucking photorealism fucking big ass paint. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no way I could ever see me painting something that I would see as, I can't say that, because I mean, it would depend on the significance. If it was something that would have like a human condition significance type of deal, but I mean, it would have to be something that ingrained. You know, it'd have to be like the soup can type of deal. You know, it'd have to be like Warhol status thing for me to think it was valued more than $100,000. You know?
Yeah, and even that, I mean, Warhol these days does his work on a fucking iPad. You know, that's his thing. You know, Matisse, towards the end of his life, when he was, you know, he was a fantastic painter. He did a lot of more kind of impressionist stuff.
I paint with oils. I don't paint with acrylics or watercolor. I've tried watercolor and acrylics, but I prefer to do oil. And whenever I do drawings, I prefer to use charcoal pencils. I can't, because I tattoo and stuff. So like,
Yeah,
I notice with charcoal pencils, I get that feeling that I get when I'm tattooing, like where I'm like, I'm not scared to go in with the shading needle and like really fucking slam it in, because I know when I wipe, I'm still gonna have a bunch of extra, like, wiggle room there. But like, it's like if you use like one thing I noticed is like willow wood, that like I would get charred willow wood, and like that stuff, man. You could, like, if you're working on like a photorealism face, and you could use some burnt willow wood and some medium charcoal and some medium graphite. Oh my god. You could pull off something that looks like it's popping out of the fucking paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I see shit like this and I see them try to value it at $500,000, I'm like, okay, my son did one of those when he was fucking 2.
It's it's unbelievable.
Especially after seeing your paintings, it's like I bet that you know, because you're somebody that is definitely committed to painting in a way that I would not be able to commit to painting. You commit to painting the way that I feel like I commit to guitar. It's like I feel like from me seeing your paintings, I think that it's like a second nature thing for you, that you could just sit down and you lose yourself for hours, probably. I bet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, pretty much. Well, it's
So then to
even the
see
big
something
ones
like that,
don't
how does
take
it make you
that long.
feel?
Yeah, yeah. That, well, yeah. It's because that. Well, the thing is, I work quick. I work very fast. So even like the big stuff that I showed you, that was probably 45 minutes that it would have taken me for that.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I work real fast. I like to trust. I like to trust my instincts. You know, I like to trust the
Well,
instinct
I
of the
did know
stroke.
that. I did notice that that's better too. When you're doing portraits, especially, I've noticed instinct is something you can't be scared to move the paint around on the canvas. That's why I love oil. You know what I mean? Like with oil paint, you can literally lay the paint down, and if you feel like you fucked it up that day, you can leave and come back tomorrow and still move that paint around on the canvas.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I miss oils, man. Yeah, yeah, they're good. Right, let's.
They're good, but they cost a lot.
Yeah. Damn it. Do you know, once I probably shouldn't admit this on a live. Actually, probably think. I went to New York a number of years ago, and I wanted to take something with me that I probably shouldn't have taken with me, and I wasn't quite sure how to take it with me. And then I realised, of course, that the oil paints I was taking had like a lead lining in them. So, so I may or may not have have moved various things from one place to another inside, and I even took them in my hand, like in my hand thing, like I had a bag of paints. Yeah, just put those through. Yeah. I had a lovely time in Central Park, just on the other side of that. But yes. Anyway, moving on swiftly to another story. I'm not sure about this one. 20 British citizen tests. You see if it actually passed. Would you like to see if you passed this British citizen test?
I would like to see if I'd pass it. Yeah.
All right then. Let's see how you do. Let's see how you do. Which stories are associated with Geoffrey Chaucer?
Oh,
So, you know,
Chaucer.
you're an
Oh,
educated
shit.
man. Yeah. So I'm thinking you probably
man.
get these.
Yeah, man. I haven't. Oh man, I haven't.
We've got
I-
the Westbury Tales,
I'm
the
gonna have to
Ambridge
guess.
Tales, London Tales, and the Canterbury Tales.
I'm gonna say the Westbury.
It's the Canterbury Tales. Don't worry, don't worry. What important event happened in England in 1066?
Battle of Hastings, I believe.
Yes, it was. Very good. Very good. 2010 general election. What kind of government was formed? National, all party, one party, or coalition? Oh, very good there, Venus. Top marks for you. Good.
All party.
It was a coalition.
Or what?
It was a coalition.
It's a coalition.
It was a coalition.
It's coalition. Okay.
The Union flag is made up of 4 crosses. One part for each of the United Kingdom. Is that true or false?
True.
It is true. Very good. Very good.
I had to really think about it. I was like thinking about that time period, what their mindset would be when they're making the flag. Like that's how I got the answer to that. I didn't actually know.
That was perfectly good. Yeah, very good rationality. Yes. Emily Pankhurst is famous for her leadership of the campaign to give women the right to vote in the UK. True or false?
Oh my god.
Emily Pankhurst. You can't see
Wasn't
this,
she-
but
I thought she was a
you're
writer.
You're correct there, Venus. Sorry, say that again.
Wasn't she a writer?
She is famous for doing a number of things. But one of the things that she was... yes. No, I'll finish that sentence there. Otherwise, I'm going to give it away.
I'll say true.
It is true, yes.
You gave it to me.
She was
You
leader
gave
of
it to me,
the
though, so I don't wanna count it.
suffragettes. The suffragette movement. Which of the
I'm
following...
like, you did it!
Which of the following statements is correct? Winston Churchill was Prime Minister during the First World War. Winston Churchill was Prime Minister during the Second World War.
Second.
It is the second.
Yep.
Major development occurred in the UK in the 60s. Was it the children's rights law reform, the currency decimalization, or divorce law
It is
reform?
children's rights law reform.
I've got to say, Venus is doing incredibly well here. It was the currency decimalization.
What?
This. See, the next one I don't know. I think I know, but I'm not sure. Who was an important British inventor in the 20th century? Tim Berners-Lee, George Stephenson, or Isambard Kingdom Brunel?
George Stephenson, I think. I've heard that name.
George Stephenson? Is that who you're going with?
Yeah.
It's not correct. It was Tim. Here's the what's the UK currency called? Dollar, euro, pound sterling, or yen?
Oh, if you're calling it a pound, I mean, if I was over there, I'd probably say pence, but pound.
It is the pound, a pound sterling. Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know why they called it a pound sterling?
Because that was the weights. The weights of the
And
the metal.
it was the weight and the and what it was.
Yeah.
It was sterling silver.
Yes, no, it is. Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, good job. Venus is doing very well here. Venus is an honorary Brit by the looks of it. Let me just skip through it. There's a fuckload of questions here, actually.
This is the citizenship test.
It is, yes. So if you were to
You better
pass,
fucking help me study.
if you were to pass, I don't know what percentage you need to pass on to get it. You need 18 correct answers in order to pass. You've done quite well, though. You've done quite well.
I feel like I could do it if I studied for like a week.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet. So, last question. What's the minimum age that you can drive a car or motorcycle in the UK? 17, 18, 21, or 25?
I am torn between two numbers right now. Because it's
Talk-
either
talk us
18
through
or
it.
17.
You're thinking 18 or 17? Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like you guys are very you're very responsible in England. I feel like, because you know what I mean. You guys, you don't shoot people, you stab people, so you're very personal. You know what I mean. So it's like you guys you're very personal people. So it's like 17. I'm gonna say 17.
Correct. Yes, very good. Yes, I passed my driving test at 17. Yes. Very good.
Past mine at 16.
Don't you guys have like driver's ed or something? You can learn to drive at school.
Well, yeah, but I also took defensive driving courses in the Navy and stuff. So like I have extra driving classes under my belt.
I like that. Okay, I think this is one of the last ones that we've got. Go through.
Well, what about the provocative mermaid right there? Oh my God.
Yeah, there's two. There's we've got bizarre serial killer guy and provocative mermaid. So, well, you see, let's go provocative mermaid, okay? She makes waves.
Provocative about her.
Now that's the question. What would you say might be provocative? I mean, about this person.
I don't know. I mean, she's like respectfully holding her titties up and not letting them hang down, because that would obviously hurt her shoulders or her back eventually if she let them hang too low. I mean, she's probably going to sit there for her entire fucking life, so she doesn't want her back to hurt, the whole time. And then, I mean, realistically, if she was wearing something over if she was a human being statue, her buttocks area that is like a fish tail starting up, I don't know. I feel like,
Yes,
it wouldn't be comfortable to put anything there either because it'd rub the scales away.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like she's perfectly in her right to be right there, and I feel like I would definitely get a picture with her, and probably a couple that I wouldn't post. I would just keep them for fun to be like, hey, check out this one.
Well, that's the thing is it's Italy, and I've been to Italy, and they have no problem with nudity in their advertising on billboards. Like when I arrived in the Italian airport, there was a perfume.
Is it like people having a wank or something? Like, but they ain't gonna have an ad with a dude just like wanking one out.
Actually, it was her curves. That the problem that they have was it was they thought that she was too curvy. Whereas the artist said, well, actually, it represents, women. Women can be of all different shapes and sizes. Therefore,
Yeah, and if they're built like that, they're a fucking keeper.
Yeah, but
They're built like that. You cook and clean. You know what I mean?
But no, that was so that was the big thing, because I mean, you know, if you look at, you know, if you go to, I mean, I'm presuming you must have gone and seen a fair bit of art over the years. If you've ever seen Leonardo's David, for example, he's standing there. He's a very
yeah, but I mean, like that was common practice though, to include the penis though.
Yes. Well, I suppose under that, you know, we don't have, there is no genitalia in here, but it's literally it's just because of her curvy shapiness. So rather it matches to being because
get
she's
mad about her for her that right there. Whenever you hear the song, she's a brick mermaid. That's what they're talking about. You know,
Yeah.
ladies like that. Ladies that bring the house down if you drop them too hard in the living room.
Yeah.
Especially in a house built like mine, she'd go straight through the fucking floor down to the basement.
But yeah, that is what the problem was. Yes. And so people were having problems with it.
I wanted to hear that. Or scroll up a little bit. I want to see that argument. I want to see the argument there in that first paragraph. You see the adverts on television?
You see adverts on television with models who are very thin, but the mermaid is a tribute to the great majority of women who are curvy, especially in our country. It would have been very bad if we had represented a woman who is extremely skinny. I don't see
now that
wrong with that.
Now they're getting too far into it. They shouldn't defend it like that. I feel like if they're not being intelligent artists with their argument. An intelligent artist would say, excuse me, what do you mean she's too curvy? I made her to be curvy. Like you don't have to, like, you know what I mean? Oh, you don't have to right away point out that the skinny bitches don't deserve to have a statue made of them. You know what I mean? There's probably skinny bitches watching this right now. They're like, and it's like, all right, you're all right, honey. You're gonna put some weight on one day.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. You know, it's subjective, isn't it? What's your concept of beauty? It doesn't, as you say, it doesn't matter what people think. You know, if that's the artist's concept of beauty, that's what it is. Who cares? You know what I mean? And
what I like about art like that though is that it's gonna outlive a lot. Like, see, people think that we're so advanced because we make our houses out of wood and like concrete. But realistically, there was a reason that they used stone. You know what I mean? There was a reason that they used fucking stone, because stone stays, right? This shit don't stay. This shit's gonna be laying down in like less than 100 years. But you know what stone does? Sits there for the 100 years. I love art like that because I'm like, that shit's gonna outlive my fucking great grandkids probably.
Here's a strange comment by one person. At first glance, it doesn't look like the image of a famous scientist. It actually looks like a mermaid with two silicon boobs and the hugest bum I've seen. Oh yeah, whatever. But so why were they expecting a famous scientist? Like, there is nothing about this that has said
like,
they ordered an Einstein and ended up with a Kardashian. There's nothing that kind
I mean, this person is talking about how they could get to know a stone piece like that. Well, that's the hugest ass I've ever seen on a mermaid, at least the ones I know. Oh, so you know these statues now? You know these mermaid statues now to that degree?
Well, plus the fuller figure woman is much more of a feature of, you know, classical sculpture. You know, it was a symbol of wealth and of virility and all this sorts of stuff to be a more curvy person. It meant, you know, you're of a certain standing, you could afford to eat more, therefore you had the curves, and that was something which was desirable.
But that's another thing too, is people forgot that we were like, you know, people forget that we literally just 100 years ago, 3 people ago, the U.S. was being formed. Okay, 4 people ago, it was hard to find food unless you was cooking it or I mean, growing it yourself. You know what I mean? You had to raise your own food and grow your own food literally 4 people ago. 4 lifetimes ago. It wasn't, you know, you couldn't go to Walmart and get your, you know, the ability and options that we have nowadays are so taken for granted that literally people just don't get. You know, I wish that they made statues of every type of woman in mermaid attire, and I wish they made statues of every man in the attire of. Have you ever been to the States?
Yes.
You said you've been to New York. Have you ever been to Virginia Beach?
I haven't. No.
The big ass fucking statue of. Oh man!
We've got someone here from Virginia Beach. Is it Wendy? Is it Wendy from Virginia
yeah,
Beach?
we searched it. Yeah, we did that thing that one night. That was fun.
Oh no, it was, I think it's Heather from Virginia Beach, maybe.
Yeah, it is, because I don't want to give any of our information away, but yeah, Hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we were doing that thing, yes, yes,
We
yes. I
raced,
remember. Yeah.
to see who could find her
Yeah.
info first. She
That's
didn't
it.
believe we could find her.
Ah,
It was
yeah.
what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Have to deep dive on a person that's not thing. Yeah, that was fun.
I was
Okay.
trying to explain that to somebody yesterday. I said network security. People don't realize when they say like, "Oh, I was so surprised when I seen what all was available of my shit." Well, once you know how to get that shit, you're like, no surprise, sir. All of my passwords and emails are out there too. You just gotta go look for them.
Yeah, yeah.
No surprise.
You don't
no
need any
surprise.
deep dark web shit. You just literally need Google and a few and to know where to look. Yeah, yeah. So the last story was this one. It's more of a. This is more of a kind of a serious story actually. Let's get rid of that top bit. So there was this man. Yeah, bit of he is pretty much how he looked. So he was going on a bit of a rampage, and did some very naughty things. So for example, there was some police people sitting in a car. He walked up to the police car and literally shot one of them in the face, and doing some very nasty stuff. But then he called upon a famous footballer who attempted to try and. Here he is. He was very famous for wearing plastic boots.
Oh, I know that guy. I've seen him before.
This is Gaza. His name is.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul Gascoigne. And so he called in Paul Gascoigne to try and talk this man down. Yes. So he gets the call from the police, and his quote was, "I've got 250 missed calls." I was like, "What have I done? I've got a chicken by my side, fishing rods, and a barber." I'm like, "Fuck me, I must have missed something." So his whole thing was that he'd gone on his kind of crazy rampage, and that was who he had brought in to talk him down. Unfortunately, it didn't work. There was a bit of a grisly end to the story. It's kind of a crazy story. That is one of these ones where the common thing is English don't have guns. This is one of the stories that kind of proves that theory a little bit wrong. So if there was a person to talk you down, we're going to eliminate K from this. So if there was a person that could talk you down, I'm going to eliminate the professor that you talk very well of as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to eliminate those people. I'm going to keep it to famous people that might be able to talk you down if you're in a...
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Okay.
Only person going to stop me from doing anything. If somebody's going to stop me from doing something, it's going to be somebody that talks out of logic. And I'm sorry, but if you said famous people, so that kind of limits me to like 3 or 4.
Okay, so we've got Bob Dylan. Who else might we have?
I feel like if David Gilmour called me up or like showed up, that would definitely change the mood. That'd change the vibe up. Not Roger Waters though. I'd do it faster if he showed up. Let me think. Who else?
Hello,
I don't know. My mind's pretty set whenever it's set, man. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, if you're ever in front of me and I'm saying I'm gonna kill you, you already fucked up too much because I'm gonna kill you. I don't lie.
If I put you in the context, so he didn't like the police very much, so he went around and killed lots of police people with shotguns. And then he was basically they'd managed to corner him. He was walking down a country road. Everyone cornered him. He lay down in a field with under his chest was a shotgun pointed at his chin, and he was kind of lying on it. So it wasn't a possibility for them to, see some sharpshooters taking the gun out of his hand, from a distance, whatever. All those opportunities were kind of gone. So essentially, it was a case of, you're not going to disarm this guy. Even if you jump on him, he's probably going to do whatever. So that there was normal people weren't his targets, and so he'd gone around and done all these police officers, and the last thing he was going to do was essentially, right, okay, well, you come near me and I'm going to do this. So they brought in the footballer to be able to talk him down.
So Is it because you're an artist that you don't think a cop is a normal person?
I'm saying in terms of their role within society. So
Okay. So, but
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever get like that. See, I don't persecute at all. If I have a problem with someone, it's very direct. I'm very direct. I don't like to. I don't do the whole like bringing everybody else in on it and then like trying to. I don't try to build a team against somebody because I'm like, it's hard enough to build a team for something, let alone build a team against somebody else. It's like, I wouldn't do that. I spend my time trying to build my team for something. But I mean, if we're building my team for something and you get in the way of that something, then yeah, fuck. I mean, yeah, I'll probably fucking kill you. And I would hope I'd get away with it. I ain't gonna lie. Shit. You know what I mean? If you're fucking with my shit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It depends. Like, so what was his prerequisite to wanting to do all that?
He was just a bad guy. That he just decided one day. I think he'd split up with his missus. He'd kind of lost everything. And thought, right, so he got he was a bit of a gangster.
Head injuries had something to do with it.
Interesting call.
'Cause I bet he had some head injuries or like I bet he's had at least 3 or 4 or 5 concussions. And honestly, like I've noticed that's a pretty regular thing with.
You could probably argue that. I mean, yeah. Let's see.
Whenever you have so many concussions, like your portions of your brain that control your anger and control your impulses. Like whenever you're sitting in the car and you're leaning back and your car's off and the car beside you's moving, you're like fuck, and you sit up to make sure your car ain't going right. Those impulses that you feel, right, the part of your brain that controls those, it gets fucked up whenever you get so many concussions, and I could see it leading to somebody. I mean, shit, I wouldn't want to talk to him. I wouldn't try to talk him down because I mean, knowing that he was a footballer and like that he's that fucked off.
The footballer was renowned for being fucking like a bit of a drunk and a bit of a dickhead. So he was.
Yeah, he's kind of like the John Daly in golf. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Except John Daly didn't go. He didn't go killing anybody besides his liver.
Yeah. Just to answer, inquisitive. This is Jacob. He is the Get Some Records. He is the man who was working with Montana Mills in one of the episodes. Just to fill you in, dead brief. But apparently the guy who
I got 20 seconds episode time, so I belong here.
But so apparently the guy was a former bouncer and bodybuilder. Okay, so you maybe you could put in the so what if he's taking steroids? There was the case
so now
of,
not only does he have concussions, he's not only getting concussions, he's pushing his body to the limits every day. Guaranteed he was pushing his body to the limits every day. I mean, you don't get to be a well-known footballer unless you literally are. There's one thing you are for sure, and that's fucking in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't realize how big a football field really is. Because when I say football, people think usually, the leather oblong piece, and I'm not used to being able to say football and someone knowing that I'm talking about soccer.
Yeah, they are big. So yeah, but they called in the footballer to talk to him, and apparently he rocked up with a bucket of KFC and a fishing rod to try and talk this guy down. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, dude. That's how you do it. You bring chicken with you, but you bring the fishing rod just because you want to put some honey on the chicken. So you cast it out and catch your bees. You get those fuckers reeled in.
Yeah. You reel in the roided out
white ass
bouncer.
bees. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. So that was that sort of crazy.
So did he stop him from totally fucking Cobaining himself or what?
No, he Cobained himself.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it was abstract.
Yeah. No, there's no happy ending at all to that story. Yeah.
Meanwhile, that other guy is still like in jail, thinking like, I'd suck the fuck out of his toes since he's dead. He wouldn't be able to tell a soul.
Yeah. It's that was Raoul Moat, his name was. No, he doesn't look like a Raoul, does he? Where is he? At the top there. You wouldn't say that guy's name is Raoul, would you? He's a Gary or a Dave, isn't he, or a Stuart?
I would pronounce no. I pronounce. I mean, if it's spelt Raoul, I would have to say like roll.
Wrong. Yeah, sort of more of a kind of sort of onomatopoeic rather than
Raw Moat. He's Raw Moat. He's a controller. Raw Moat. Blam.
I think that is the end of our stories. I think we've been
right,
through
motherfucker.
Oh, there is one last one actually. There is one last one. And it's this one. Here's one for your brain. Those of you in the chat and that do like a bit of real life crime and like to investigate.
Can I really dive in on this one? Because I've been joking this whole time, and I'd love to get real with the last one.
All right, here we go. So there was a guy. His name is Ricky McCormick. Okay, and he washed up on the beach. And he had. Oh no, this is a different one. Sorry. Let me see. There was two with pretty much the same stories. Let me see if I can find that other one.
And your tabs look like mine. Every time I have somebody over in the studio, they're like, how do you keep track of what tab you're on? I'm like, because it fucking shows up when I click it. Duh.
Let me see.
The computer does that for me. That's why the tab system exists. It, keep track of them for me.
Okay, so there was a guy, and he. There we go. I think it's come up on the screen there. Let me go one more. Oh, I need to go kind of in between. Let me see if I can go in between so people there can see it. Okay, so guy was found with a note in his pocket. Okay, and this on the screen there is the note that was in his pocket. So it is clearly some sort of cipher. There was two people this happened to. There was another man, I think, washed up in Australia, and he was a very, very well dressed man, wearing a suit. All the labels were cut out of his jacket, and there was nothing but a couple of notes found on him, and they were very much in the same vein as this. Now this was one guy. People have described him as the hard R. If you don't know what the hard R is retard. So they described him as this, and the fact he was always making notes. Okay, and they found him dead, and in his jacket were notes. People have been, looked to try and decipher this one. Oh, Lady Wendy's head of this one. Good job.
So the things that stand out to me that are pretty cool is like he has the numbers down there, says 71, 74, 75.
Yeah. That's
what you want to look for is repetitive things,
That's the thing. But what I was, when I looked at this briefly earlier, I was looking for duplicates. So, looking for, because over here you've got a PP. Okay. So you might assume that that's a repetitive vowel. Or it could be a consonant, but you might assume that's a repetitive vowel. But there's not many of those. There's not really any punctuation. There's what looks like punctuation.
I couldn't picture it being
here.
a repetitive vowel. Then I think that if the PP definitely is it's probably like a double consonant, because it'd have to be a double consonant that is. Or what if we could be totally looking at it wrong. We could be just trying. He could have done these to sound, you know what I mean, like phonetics wise. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not even a cryptology type thing. Maybe he did this with sound, because I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I'm seeing some things that stand out to me right away, which is like a lot of T's. He's using a lot of T's and a lot of his E's are weird too. Like they're that's what made me think about the sound thing, because I was looking at the E's and I'm like, all his E's are like that like you could tell phonetically that the symbol would look like the way your mouth would feel when you say it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Although they're not consistent. If you look at the E here, it's not necessarily the same E as here.
No, I think that's an F. I was thinking that was an F, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
It looks like he just has the swipe over, swipe down, and then a single line. But with the E's, you can tell that he blatantly put like an angle at the bottom too. You know what I mean?
Because you'd imagine this is deliberate, because here he's corrected himself. Because if this was just somebody spilling out letters, there would be no need to correct yourself. Surely, you would just be.
Well, he corrected himself on that letter every time he used it. Look.
So we got it's either
On
a
the
P or
bottom
an
there?
F, isn't it?
A PF or an R.
Yeah.
It looks like all three mixed together, and then he did it again
over
several
here.
times.
And here's harder. Yeah. They pressed harder. And here so I was trying to then think, okay, so let's say, for example, they could be amounts of something. Apparently, one of the things that they found from this particular person was they were scared of with a group of people, and the group of people were into all kinds of illicit, naughty things. So, is it an address? Is it a quantity? 71, 74, 75.
It does look like a Dutch address.
Yeah.
It does look like a Dutch address.
Well, that's it. It's like council.
31 Persches, Nickburger, Lurters, Nurskers.
Yeah. It's like Cons Precinct Tonsi. Yeah. Or
Yeah, I was thinking like
here.
that one that's the very first, or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth line from the bottom, right? It's like, I don't know if it's are those supposed to be parentheses or like, you know what I mean?
It looks like it.
I feel like
Yeah.
they're blatant. I feel like, because he has like a caret down at the bottom instead of a parenthesis. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like, I feel like he would use that. I use carets and parentheses when I'm writing lyrics to show when I'm gonna go back to something, because I like to use my own symbols for my stuff. That way people can't ever like look at it and copy it. So like, I feel like the parentheses and the carets, I don't know. It's, oh, there's more. Oh, hell yeah. Let's make it easier.
Yeah, there's more. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like,
And here's that number again. Look, there's 74 again.
74, Sparks, 29.
Yeah, 86, 35, 6.
And also,
There was this number here. In fact, I put this. I had a quick look at this earlier, and I put this number in. I thought, what if it's a coordinate? So I put that. So I put that coordinate into Google, but it comes up with nothing. The only thing it comes up with is there's a certain amount of planets which have 5-digit names, but that's not. Yeah, that's not part of it. Oh, Faithful says
down at
anagrams.
the bottom there, he has like
anagrams
it's like a
and-
D-W-M-4. It looks like.
Yeah.
And then MPL or MIL or XDRLX. I feel like the X's represent space, or like a specific mark. Like he wanted to mark that spot, because I noticed the X's he's using, usually he's using them between stuff that I could see being either a initials for a person or an acronym. But I do think that it does look like there's some real writing there in the top. It looks like it says like it honestly sounds a little bit like Yiddish. This is like Pesheshel.
Okay.
Like down there right there, it says it's like Pesheshel. The thing is, it's written in English letters, so it's really weird. It'd be easier for me to sound it out in Yiddish or Hebrew if it was written in Yiddish or Hebrew, but like that. What makes it hard to read too is like the ink is like spread. You know what I mean? Like, I wish he'd have used. That's too bad this guy didn't know what archival ink was. Probably.
If only this man didn't have a decent fucking biro. I mean, really, the cheek, the cheek of some people. Yeah.
Can you believe the gall of this guy? He's gonna die and leave us notes and not even use fucking archival ink. Jesus.
Yeah. But yes.
What do you think about? Because I'm telling you, I feel like the way that he circled stuff, it looks like my fucking notes. To be honest, like I do the same type of shit, and I'm a very cerebral person, so I a lot of people think that I'm autistic, and like I've been called a hard R word, which is crazy because like You know,
Yeah.
you know, the people usually calling me that are like, you know, pieces of shit. But the thing is that I feel like the parentheses definitely have a very big significance. Circles have a big significance. And I feel like the lines that are in the earlier page, because I'm noticing there's no carets in this one, only parentheses.
Mm.
Censor.
It's kind of a very deliberate half.
Yeah, yeah. So let's read on. Tell me more about the story here, and we'll see if that helps us decode anything about it.
Yeah, there's not a great deal. There's
I doubt the killer wrote it. I don't think that someone's gonna, you know what I mean? If you're gonna kill somebody, you're not gonna fucking literally put your fucking, I mean, you're not gonna want to, you know what I mean? Unless you're like, I mean, I just feel like if you have the brain capacity to kill somebody and they don't get found right away and they end up getting found later on with a note on them, it wasn't from the killer. You know what I mean? That person had the note on them that they wrote, I think. At least that's what I would say.
And there's no need to, is there? There's just no need to then, you know, if you were a serial killer and you're trying to, you know, be mystical, like was it Son of Sam or whoever it was that would kind of bait the police to sort of follow various things.
Yeah, right. Like
there's no.
that's an American. Did they do that over there? It's an American thing over here where like if somebody does get away with a couple killings, then they start wanting to leave behind trinkets. It's like remind me of that dude from the Irish guy from Austin Powers. Like they always trying to get me Lucky Charms. Like he leaves one with every person he kills.
No, but I know what you mean though. Yes, they kind of get brave and then they try to goad because that's part of the sort of psychopathic mentality, isn't it? So that they look for that fame, that notoriety once they've.
Yeah, well, because it's
got
also
so far.
a coping mechanism to deal with the massive roller coaster ride that they go through. Because like, whenever you really look into the human brain and what happens whenever you choose to do certain things, and like you realize the gravity of your actions, it affects your brain really heavily. Like people don't realize the impact that stress and our cognitive sequences really does. It really does affect like everything in our bodies. And I feel like if somebody was going to fall into one of those habits, it wouldn't be a note like that. It wouldn't be something cryptic like that. That's very like if they were going to be cryptic and they were a killer, they would want to be very concise about it. You know what I mean? They wouldn't just scribble something out. If they had to scribble something out, they'd fucking no good. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's. I mean, you know, logically, which I guess it's hard to say logically whenever you're fucking talking about a dude that's killing somebody, but at the same time, human condition still can like it's still a factor, and I feel like they definitely wouldn't want to write a note. So I think that he definitely wrote that. But I mean I wish that there was like, is there anything about? Have you looked him up to see if there was any other writings that he ever did?
No, as far as to say, and we had somebody.
Was this dead asshole's name?
Which the dead guy?
Yeah, guy with the notes.
Knox McCormick.
Wow.
Actually, no.
So definitely wasn't as seasoned as the Fort Knox.
Yes, Knox, smell like Fort Knox. Yes, Knox. Yeah.
Yeah, and then McCormick spelled like the seasoning.
Most.
You don't have
likely.
McCormick seasoning over there?
I've not heard of that. No.
Okay.
It sounds vaguely familiar from who's that? Who's the chef? There's a.
Emma Lagarce used. That's a name I haven't gotten to say in a long ass time. Bam. He used McCormick seasonings.
I know cooking with Jack. I don't know if people know Cooking with Jack, but yeah, he used chicken seasoning by McCormick, I think.
Okay. I see this.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you're looking at the most updated story about it too. 'Cause I'm not finding any other things about it that aren't like pre that time. TV anchor, photographer killed while reporting on severe weather. Holy shit, that's crazy. Died in North Carolina when a tree fell on him during a live report. That's crazy. No, every story I'm finding about Knox McCormick, it's like literally them just touching the fucking, they're like playing tiddlywinks with the idea of figuring it out. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about? So what's your thoughts on it? What do you notice about it that seems significant? What are the viewers noticing? Because I can't see chat right now.
So, let's see. Oh,
And they're saying a lot of drum noises.
oh no,
They
there's
must be drums.
some stuff about a guy called Rishi and Jen. We're married. Maybe it's one thought's maybe it's anagrams. Apparently there's an older YouTube channel that was all about deciphering. The last one has still been unsolved, says Inquisitive. If the killer
Legitimately, I'd be the guy to fucking do this too. Like, I'm really interested in this shit because let me show you something real quick before we get close to ending this. So legitimately, I am the type of guy who wanna look this shit up because like. So this is a book I'm working on writing because I want to write this book and I want it to be the universal way that everyone learns other people's languages. Like legitimately, I've written out. So this is how you would sound out the words phonetically, and it's like a key to tell you how to use your mouth to make the right sound so that the person understands you. And then I have like a full out. I wrote out a whole ass dictionary starting with the first language ever.
Wow.
Yeah, and I worked my way up through all the languages, and right now I'm on Hebrew. Well, not Hebrew anymore.
Damn.
Not Hebrew anymore. Actually, right now I'm working on it's called Yiddish. It's like the Hasidic Jewish version of Hebrew. Yeah, but that's Hebrew is beautiful. I think that the Hebrew language is the most beautiful, right? But besides Aramaic, but nobody uses Aramaic anymore. Even Arab people won't be able to read Aramaic. Because Arabic is way different than Aramaic.
Wasn't Aramaic the language that they tried to speak in the Something of Christ, the Mel Gibson movie?
I don't know if that is true or not, but I can't imagine that they would try to speak Aramaic because Aramaic's very it's very archaic. Like their mouths were the way that they used their muscles in their mouth to speak back then was very different. Even with when I learned the original Hebrew language, right? Like, because the original Hebrew language is different than Hebrew that's used now, even.
Right.
So, that language is harder to speak than current Hebrew. Like what my hat says. I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it correctly right now because I'm on the spot, but it's Habalach, which is like the way, like God's way. Yeah.
Ah, neat. I like that. Well, I think it's about time. I think that's drawn us to a convenient close. I think, young sir.
Can I UFC style it? Can I Bruce Buffer this shit?
You can Bruce Buffalo.
It's time!
The best buffer I have heard. The best buffer. Righty. So then, ladies and gentlemen, and those that are still with us over there in the chat and in the viewing, thank you so much.
My son just said he clogged the toilet, so I'll be right back, Lukan.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for joining us. Right then, thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming through and having a look at the news with us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. So then it is over to you, and however you choose to spend the rest of your evenings. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. New videos, of course, coming up tomorrow and throughout the week. So do please do that, and do please come and join us on the Discord. It's a wonderful place for us to hang out and talk various things. So until then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hang on. Let me just make sure I've got my buttons all ready before I do. So then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, do please be well all. Be well. Be well. It's very Demolition Man. I like that. So do please stay beautiful. Love to my three. And all of you people, do please take care of yourselves.